Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. I hope that the connection is live. Took a little while before the stream seemed to start after pressing go live. I had that a couple of minutes ago as well, so hopefully things have resolved. Restarted the modem. As a consequence of that, unfortunately missing out on the firefighters who just passed by on this side and are already on the other side of the runway. It seems that after the reboot my chat window on my phone has not updated, so I'm not sure if it is working. It does look like the chat in my streaming app is working. Let's see if I can reload the page on my phone, see if then things start updating. Should have a connection, so should be working. Very good morning to everybody. We started a bit earlier than normal. There's rain coming pretty soon, according to most predictions. Probably before noon. Although it is also looking like things are dissolving a little bit as they are coming as the clouds are drifting in. So we'll have to see. I'm multitasking. I'm introducing. I'm talking and also trying to see if everything is working. I think that the chat is now also updating. Perfect. So probably we'll have a short stream today, shorter than normal, due to rain. Then again, maybe not. That was SAS in the retro livery. I think things are working. In the meantime, Marja, goedenavond. Good to see you again. There are the firefighters. And Ryanair standing on what we have come to know as Delta's parking place. Not exactly sure what's up, why they're there, but this is the current status quo. Looking to the south, this is what it looks like. This is looking to the southwest, and that's where the rain is situated, and west. The wind is blowing southwest to northeast, so basically in line with where you can see the border between cloudiness and blue sky. So very slowly rain is getting closer by, and also it seems to be dissolving a little bit as it is moving in. So when exactly it is going to rain over here and with what intensity remains to be seen. Hopefully it's going to stay decently dry for until at least that one airplane has landed. If you've had a look on Flight Radar, you will have seen that the retro livery Cathay Cargo is coming to town. Should be arriving around 11. I'm almost certain it's going to go to the center runway, but still, we should be able to see it quite well from over here. In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody who has joined already. Hadi Ricardo, goedemorgen. Martijn, goedemorgen. Arjan, goedemorgen. Casper, goedemorgen. Matt. Jan, Greet, Jeff, Simi, not Captain Weber. Honda, Han, Martinair. Good morning, one and all. A few wide bodies are approaching. That was Air Canada. Next up will be KLM, arriving from Johannesburg in South Africa. Hopefully that also is working. Current ETA is 10:50, Maria says. Thanks for the update, Maria. That's good news. Yesterday they did well. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's good development, but it's not enough to say with certainty it's now going to land on the Polderbaan. Yesterday we saw that the parallel arrivals that normally start at 11 already began at 10:52 or so. I wouldn't be surprised, knowing ATC, Wouldn't be surprised if they are going to let the Cathay Special be the first airplane to land on the central runway. Hey Razor, goedemorgen. Bevroren Patat, goedemorgen. Speed bij Daniel, goedemorgen. Martijn, goedemorgen. Danisha, goedemorgen. Ja, dat was je moeder. Danisha and her mom were sitting on the bench next to me, which is now empty. Hope you guys had a good day, Danisha. We do have an airplane glide slope shot of sorts. The backdrop is not as clear as yesterday in the beginning of the show, but still a 2-airplane glide slope shot. Richard, goedemorgen. Marijke, goedemorgen. Aviation Dallas, goedemorgen. Danny, goedemorgen. Marijke, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, all others who have joined in the meantime. So, yeah, the Cathay Cargo special livery retro 7478. Here it is, flying to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport over Greece right now. Over here it says ETA 10:59. That's, oh yeah, there you go. It has to be updated. 10:50, like Maya already said. This is coming to Schiphol, ladies and gentlemen. What a looker, eh? Absolutely gorgeous. Looking forward to seeing it. Really excited. Emirates A380 is early. Unsure about whether or not we're going to be able to see them. Orange Pride is returning from Latin America. The weather radar is currently looking like so, and we are approximately over here. And this is the past hour, and you can see that stuff is drifting in. It's not the densest of cloud formations, so to what extent it's going to rain, we'll see. It does look like the intensity is decreasing as it is moving further to the Netherlands, so fingers crossed it's going to stay reasonably okay. I figured with that 7478 I had to risk it and just go out and see. I've got umbrellas with me. If it's getting really hard to rain, then obviously I'll have to stop at some point, but I'm cautiously optimistic and fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a reverse rain dance. See if it is going to stay dry. Adi, goedemorgen. Hans-Josef, goedemorgen und herzlich willkommen. Glenn Martin, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody else. So yeah, other than the special 747, not much is coming. Yeah, Orange Pride, of course, but I count that as one of the regulars. The A380 as well. There were more airplanes of interest underway. I think that the Transavia Retro was underway to somewhere in the vicinity of the Mediterranean. So that's probably going to return to Schiphol again in the afternoon. Probably outside of the scope of today's stream. So yeah, I was wrong. Yesterday I was cheerfully saying, oh, it's going to be nice weather all throughout, maybe a few droplets. Well, that's what they said earlier in the week. And yesterday evening it turned out that there was a rain area expected for today. This afternoon it's going to rain, and tonight as well. And for tomorrow they are expecting showers. Hey, really happy to read that back, Danisha, who writes in Dutch that she and her mom had a really nice day yesterday. Yesterday you guys were asking about the grebes, and I said only the coots I've been seeing lately, but Donald and Daisy all of a sudden make their appearance here. Behind them in the grass are Chris and Curtis Coot grazing. So maybe, just maybe, today is the day we start seeing the grebes again as well. We'll see. Russell and Sheryl Crow over there, one on top, the other on the bottom. EasyJet up next, A320neo arriving from Bristol. Behind it, BA arriving from London Heathrow. Hey, Jinsicle. Good morning. Good to see you again, mate. Familie Valkering, goedemorgen. Serial Killer, good morning. Sean, Mac Aviation Picks, good morning. Abhishek, good morning, mate. Bob, good evening. Bob says plenty of rain happening here. How was the wind last weekend? Hopefully not too blustery, too stormy. Spoke with Alvin, not yesterday, last week. Who also lives in the Sydney area. He mentioned it. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Russell also says hi to everybody. And this is the Guzzle. Gas Guzzler. And Glenn is watching from Auckland, New Zealand. Another Kiwi in the house. Oi oi! Shout out to all the Aussies and Kiwis representing down under. Also on behalf of Russell, gra gra. Who you are probably not hearing because they were indicating double-digit wind speed. So in the bottom you can see I've brought the blimp with me. The difference between the dead cat and the blimp becomes most apparent when it is double-digit wind speed, when you have 10 knots or more of wind. Yesterday, listening back to the stream, really should have brought out the blimp yesterday, but the TAF said that it was going to stay single-digit wind speed until 2 o'clock or something. Had I known, would have brought the blimp. Was again, it really stood out, the wind rumble. I always find it very distracting, hard to hear the ambient sounds. Shouldn't be a problem today. The only thing is that because of the blimp and its fixed positioning, unless I rotate it manually, the sound is a bit inferior when it comes to the ambient airplane sounds. Hey, James Mail is also back in the chat. Mali as well. Morning to you both. Mrs. Professor is also back. And what a day to be returning, Mrs. Professor. We're awaiting the retro livery Cathay Cargo 7478. It's coming to Amsterdam. ETA now 10 to 11. That's still not enough to be sure that it's going to land here on the Polderbaan. Fingers crossed it will, ladies and gentlemen. We need all the support. Try to manifest a Polderbaan arrival for the 7478. Yesterday we were here as well. Most of you will know by now. At 11 parallel arrivals begin when the Polderbaan is in use for arrivals. Not yesterday. Yesterday they already began at 10:52. And that makes it tricky for the 7478 unless it makes up even more time. Marchola, good morning. Tuning in from Den Helder in the north of North Holland. And Serial Killer 053, welcome back to the Aurora Sky Lounge, mate. Just renewing his membership. We kept your seat warm. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Everything is still the way you remember. Make sure to use those custom emojis once again now at your disposal. That goes for all members, new, old, gifted or non-gifted. They're there to be had fun with, so make sure that you do, ladies and gentlemen. Don't feel burdened. Don't feel like you might be considered spamming. To be spamming. Those custom emojis are there for a reason, and that's for you members to have fun with. So enjoy them. In the meantime, Mrs. Professor is also celebrating. She is celebrating 29 months of membership. She writes, welcome back. Hope your ski trip was good. Well, it was even better than that, Mrs. Professor. It was excellent. The pistes were prepared really well. It was cold enough for the buckles to stay away in the afternoon. Usually when it's a bit warmer the snow, when prepared overnight, doesn't firm up enough so that when people ski over the pistes later in the day, bumps, buckles often form. Only on one day did that happen. That was when there was fresh snow. After had fallen after the pistes were already prepared. Then obviously those form bumps. The food was great, and the Dolomites are not UNESCO World Heritage for nothing. Gorgeous surroundings, absolutely gorgeous. Bit long of a drive, but highly recommended. Certainly worth it. The only thing I am not pleased with is that before and after the weather has been really abysmal here. Had a look in in my catalog and I saw that, including yesterday's stream for, well, let's consider February to be over. Well, this is the 11th stream of 2026, so that's less than what in an average summer month. That's just over half of what I produce in a regular summer month with good weather, assuming you go out 4 times a week. That's very minimal. And that of course means that the algorithm and the channel are lacking momentum, and I hope it's going to pick up again at some point. That's the only downside. But the vacations were great. And now that I've been able to give my new tripod a few goes, I'm also very pleased with that. Took a little while getting used to it. Certainly since you don't have the same possibilities to fixate things to the tripod as I did with the other one. The legs of this tripod being carbon fiber, and obviously squeezing stuff into carbon fiber will result in breaking at some point. So took a little adjusting, but there you go. Now in the meantime, more Deltas are arriving thus far, all of them A330s, 300s or Neos. Carol Ann, good morning. Peter Flight Devil, good morning. Long time no see indeed, mate. Hope you've been well in the meantime. Donald and Daisy have swum a bit further north. There they are. If you feel the urge to pee, it might be because of the proximity of this little trickle, which is maybe 10 meters away from me, and with the blimp pointing forwards, it's bound to pick up that sound, that trickle, to some extent. Air Arabia Morocco flight 121, an A320, returning from Nador, 2 hours and 48 minutes. The flight time, the Charlie November Mike Quebec, 12 years old already. Landing very floatily. And I almost forgot. Started talking about my vacation, but the reason for that was that Mrs. Professor was celebrating 29 months of membership, and I completely forgot to thank you for your long-standing support. I apologize for my rudeness. You know I don't do that intentional, but ask me an interesting question and I can go off on a tangent. Thank you so much for your long-standing support, Mrs. Professor. 29 months and counting. I hope those months have been to your liking, and if anything in the lounge is amiss, by all means do let me know, and let me see if I can improve things for you and the other members. Mrs. Professor, thank you so much for your long-standing support. Congratulations on 29 months. And thank you once again for the long-standing support and a nice question. You can see that the fire trucks are still out. They did test their water hoses in the beginning of the show. You can also see the windsock and the way the wind is blowing. It's not very windy, but slowly but surely the clouds are drifting in. You can see that looking to the east and zooming out. Over there too, it's starting to get cloudy. Looking in the direction that the alleged rain is supposed to be coming from. Hard to say. It's still overcast, but not very thick. You can see parts of blue still. So we'll see. And if it's only a light trickle and there's not a lot of wind, we'll probably be able to stream with, at least in part, with an umbrella. Radio 478, good morning. And good morning to everybody else who joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are here at the Polderbaan. EasyJet just now landed. And Lufty will be next. And after that, 2 Delta A330s. Good morning, Direct Laguna. And Flores, good morning as well. If I recall correctly, yeah, scrolling back up, I saw that Anaconda 27975, aka Flores, also celebrated a membership anniversary, but that was before the stream went live. 25 months of membership. Wat een mooie stream. Heb je toch, Boy? What a lovely stream you have, Boy, he wrote in Dutch. Flores, thank you so much for your ongoing support as well. Looking forward to the next time you'll be able to come and visit in real life. I think I showed you back when he was here before. Flores is very tall. He certainly missed a career as a professional basketball player with such a length. And a nice fellow. And a member for 25 months already, 2 years and a month. Thank you so much and congratulations, Flores. To you too, I say, if anything in the lounge is amiss, do let me know. I don't say that as a as filler. I do mean it. If you guys have suggestions, let me know. Flores was indicating that the Cathay 747 is speeding and is catching up more, is making up more time. That's good news because the earlier it gets here, the higher the likelihood that first of all it's going to be dry still, and second of all it's going to be an up-close arrival here on the Polderbaan instead of to the center runway, which on paper should open around 11, but yesterday already opened 10 to 11. So the more before 11 it's coming here, the better. In the meantime, a good morning and welcome to Bobbers, who came in with a... I have to scroll laterally to see if I see an icon or not. It was a super chat. No accompanying text with it, but that's okay. Bobbers, good morning, mate. And thank you for the super chat. You really didn't have to super chat, but thank you for doing it anyway. Hope all is well. Almelo says good morning all. Almelo, a town in the east of the Netherlands. Almelo represent. Ian Jackson is also in the chat, tuning in from the UK. Welcome to the channel, Ian. And welcome to everybody else. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It's not mandatory by any means, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Delta Airlines flight 136, returning from Detroit. No, Dallas. Yeah, no, from Detroit. I was about to say Dallas, but it's Detroit. Nine-year-old airplane, first flight January 2017. A330, November 830, November Whiskey. Let's quickly turn back. Delta Airlines flight 90 up next. Arriving from Orlando in Florida. There it is. Another A330, A330 Neo. Flight time 7 hours and 56 minutes. The airplane 2 years old. First flight April 2023. The November 422 Delta Zulu. And thank you Maria and thank you Tom. I did see it. Allow me some time to also present the stream if you would. But thank you so much, Tom, as well, celebrating 22 months of membership. He writes another milestone. Hello from B631. See you soon. B631. I'm not following. What's that? That's not a gate number. It's not a highway or a local road here in the Netherlands. So B631. That's a bit of a mystery to me. See you soon. Are you on an arriving flight? Makes me curious. Please enlighten us, Tom. And thank you so much for the ongoing support and congratulations on 22 months. That's 2 more months of being green before turning blue. Ah, JetBlue 31 from Boston. Right, flight number. What time is that expected to arrive here? Is it in the vicinity already? Ah, 11:07-ish. Well, should be landing here on Polderbaan. Hopefully it's still dry by then. I have absolutely no idea until when this stream is going to last. Ideally, of course, we also catch the A380, but I cannot promise you anything. Yesterday evening, it turned out that the weather for today was expected to be something completely different from what I yesterday said in the stream it was going to be. I expected sunshine in here and there, maybe a light drizzly droplet, but Delta is continuing, and the Ryanair, in the meantime, has left, probably a long time already. Mirik de Kok says hello from 20 meters to your right. That must be you then. Good morning with the stroller. Lovely. Brent, good morning. You have a nice day too, mate. Next up, KLM flight 644, arrival from New York. Just fucking kidding. That's a 7879 Dreamliner, 6 hours and 11 minutes on the way to Papa Hotel, Bravo Hotel, India. 9-year-old airplane, first flight September 2016. And 1737 behind it. And after that, it looks like we're going to see 2 consecutive wide bodies. KLM 777 and Delta with yet another A330. And an A330 from KLM is also approaching the coastline. So it's a nice mix thus far between the wide bodies and the narrow bodies. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Serial Killer 053 for a very generous super chat. You didn't have to use super chats, mate, but thank you so much for doing it. He asks, boys, should I create for you and your fans a Discord server and build a community where people can share the same hobby and share some nice pictures or videos of aviation? Thank you for the offer, but really that is not necessary. We have the community section where people who are a subscriber for a week can also post stuff. And I think that works well enough, at least for now. But thank you so much for the offer, mate. That's really generous. Not exactly sure if Discord is a modality that the average AMS Live viewer is going to be using. I am younger than the average viewer of AMS Live with 43 years. More than half of viewers is 55 plus. More than 2/3 of my viewers is 45 plus. Not exactly sure to that is going to attract a lot of audience at Discord server. How even me myself doesn't know exactly what you can do with it. Marchola says maybe it's an idea to build an a covered to build bleachers basically. Yeah, you'd have to ask a permit for construction on land that belongs to the municipality of Haarlemmermeer. I'm pretty sure that's going to be impossible to obtain. Yeah, obviously it would be a great idea. Hell, make it with heating and with electricity. That would be even better. Alright, overhead traffic outbound, that's a 737 I think. Tom feels so young now, turning 34 in April. Oh, so you've only just turned 33. A whole future ahead of you. What's also ahead of us is a few wide bodies. There are 2 back-to-back right now, then an A320 for Air Arabia Morocco, and then another A330 as a 3rd wide body, almost in a row. That number 2 airplane. I am struggling to see it. Think to the north where the glide... Oh yeah, there it is. I was about to say the glide slope's visibility is decreasing. It's still reasonably okay, it's just not very contrasty. Martijn says, ask the farmer at the other side of the cycle path. I have no idea where who that is, because there is no farm in the immediate vicinity. So I'm wondering if the farmer who owns the land or who uses the land, because oftentimes the farmer is not the owner of the land that they farm on, but provided that there is an owner of the land. Honestly, if I would have the choice, I think I would prefer to have a cabin where I could stream warm and covered from the rain from probably closer by to the main platform area. Ideally at the same altitude and right next to P3. If only to annoy the authority, the Schiphol authority chaps. A-holes that they are. Obviously this is a great place for crosswindy arrivals, but most of the time that's not happening here. Most of the time there's more action to be seen in the vicinity of the main platform area. Such as, for instance, the location that I was sent away from recently. 4 formations of birds in the sky. Now merging into 3, or are they now? Yeah, they're once again forming a single. They're mixing it up. They're mixing it up. Anyway, Delta Airlines Flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey Nielsel, good morning. It's JG, good morning. And JG thinks he is the youngest viewer, turning 20 in August. And, well, challenge accepted. Is there anybody watching right now who is younger than 20? We do have younger viewers, absolutely we do. I think the people who are younger than 20 are in school right now. Hence the reason that the average AMS Live viewer is a bit more mature. I'm streaming here in Europe at least at times that people who aren't eligible for pension or who are unfit to work due to disability or something should be working, normally speaking, unless they have a day off and work part-time and Friday is their part-time day. Good morning, Shreya. Good morning to Erik. Jador, good morning. Adrian, good morning. Adrian, 16, no, 28. Ooh, that's a bit older. Still young. Davey, 42. Jack, 16. Indeed, Eric. Younger than 20, vaping and fat biking. Always in duos, always in duos. There's never, you never see a person, well, almost never do you see a person alone on a fat bike. It's almost always a duo, if not more. Yeah, you can draw it out. I really don't understand what the appeal is. These days as well, delivery people do that on their bikes or on an e-bike. Back in my day, it used to be a moped, 50cc. What's the fun in cycling to deliver pizzas? Hadi Joop, goedemorgen. And Simi says, I'm at my normal full-time job watching your stream. Yeah, but you're a woman, you can multitask, right? So that doesn't count. Yeah, a lot of people are watching AMS Live during work as well. I've said it before jokingly, AMS Live, your best excuse to procrastinate from school and work since 2022. KLM flight 696 is approaching. A330, arriving from Toronto. And this is the fucka. PH, aka the fucka, as in how's your motherfucker? What up, motherfucker? No reverse has been used, just idle reverse. And I happen to spy with my little eye that I am right on the other side of a small church-like building with solar panels. I think those are solar panels, right? We saw this little church before. Just saw it from the corner of my eye just now when turning back the camera. So yeah, we can head over there, say a little prayer for all the foul potty mouth that for being a potty mouth and using all foul language. Oh wait, no, that wasn't cussing. That was just the registration of an airplane that I just recited. Hey, John McKenzie is also back in the chats. Friend Sebastian as well. Good morning to both of you. Nobody has missed the 7478 yet. It's expected within the hour. Let's have another look in a moment. Sparta Rotterdam, goedemorgen. Welcome back. Hey Pete, what up mate? Original Blokkie, goedemorgen kerel. Ah, there are now offices, that explains. For those of you wondering, have I missed out on the 747 yet? The answer is no. If we open up Flight Radar, have a quick look, we can see that it is now in German airspace. ETA firmly before 11, but will it be enough? That's the question. Yesterday they opened up the center runway for parallel arrivals 10 minutes to 11. So I cannot say with a high degree of certainty yet that the special livery 7478 is going to land over here on the Polderbaan. Fingers crossed it will. Knowing ATC, wouldn't be surprised if they let the 7478 be the first airplane to land on the wrong runway. Just like how they did, was it yesterday? Anyway. EasyJet up next, flight 27840, arriving from Stansted. Behind it, two KLM widebodies. One A330-300, KLM flight 628, arriving from Miami, Florida. Oh, I see that Turkish is also following. So that's 3 widebodies after this EasyJet. 2 KLMs, 2 A330s, 1 Dreamliner, and 1 Turkish Airlines. Oh yeah, the A380 going to the center. Yeah, so that was yesterday. Over there, high rises right next to Amsterdam Amstel station. Station. I see that my camera is moving up a little bit. If I let go, it means that the back is a little heavy. Is it balanced again? Just a little bit. Might have to put it forward a little bit more. Yes. Right. Depending on the wind, sometimes you need to place the camera a few millimeters to the front or to the back to make it really to really get it in the sweet spot of balancing. This is KLM flight 628, A330-300, arriving from Miami, Florida. This is Fuck D. Papa Hotel Alpha Kilo Delta, Fuck D and thy parents. It's always exciting. Will they start using the reversers or won't they? Unfortunately, sadly, the answer was no. Not today. Adi Gerrit, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Jetstream Journeys, good morning. RDW, goedemorgen. Flag Daddy, good morning. Ah, Flag Daddy is watching from Melbourne with his 12-year-old son. What's the name of your son? Good evening to you both. Let's quickly turn back. KLM Dreamliner up next. Flight 749 arriving from Cartagena. That's in Colombia. That's a country in Latin America right next to
Ecuador!
Good morning, Cedric. Tuning in from Luxembourg once again. Welcome back, mate. Hadi Pieter, goedemorgen. Would so like to meet you one day from Johannesburg. Maybe one day we'll get to meet, mate. That would be really nice. Hope you're doing well, Peter. Welcome back to the channel. Harry and Daddy. Still don't know the name of Daddy. Flag Daddy and Harry are both watching. Have you guys seen the 747 already? I figure maybe being closer to the heat, maybe it has already flown to where you guys are residing. For us, it's going to be a channel premiere. The Retro 7478 from Cathay Cargo. I think it has visited Schiphol before already, but not during one of my streams. So for us, it's going to be a channel premiere. Fingers crossed it's going to land on the Polderbaan. That's going to be the really exciting thing to see. In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody who's joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and this is Turkish Airlines flight 1951, arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. 2 hours and 57 minutes underway. Nominal duration, Istanbul, Amsterdam, almost always around 3 hours, normally speaking. A330, 300, 9 years old. First flight May 2016. And if all is well, let me do a quick math, in 35 minutes or so from now, the Cathay Cargo 7478 80-year retro livery will be landing here. Question is, what runway will it be assigned to? Keep a close eye out for that one. Once it enters Dutch airspace, usually on omgevingsinfo we can see the runway assignment. Very much looking forward to hearing what it will be. A nice tulip on the fuselage. Originally the tulips that the Netherlands has become so well known for, coming from Turkey. The tulips of Keukenhof will be on display again in a few weeks from now. Don't think that the tulips will be out already. If I recall from last year, me and Lisa visited two times, once with her parents and once for free, being inhabitants of Lisse. There's always a Tuesday somewhere mid-opening season where inhabitants can enter the park for free. Very nice of the municipality and the Keukenhof itself. A couple of weeks difference, and it makes a tremendous difference to see what is in bloom and what isn't anymore. The tulips were a bit late, I still remember. Slowly but surely things are getting underway. The fields next to the Polderbaan have been sown in different order. The field is a bit further back, which you can see over there. Winter wheat has been sown, and that is getting taller and more green. Here too, they also, I think they also sown. They've also sown wheat. You can see those fine lines. But they were a couple of weeks later, so not nearly as green as the field next to it. Slowly but surely, that should change. Polkepuk, goedemorgen. Helix Clipper, good morning. Arwin, good morning. And Polkepuk is celebrating today a membership anniversary, 16 months of membership. Hey, good morning, you all, he writes. Polkepuk, good morning to you too, buddy. Hope all has been well. And thank you and congratulations for your long-lasting support. 16 months already. A year and 4 months. Your badge is green, but not as green as this Air Dolomiti still. A different shade of green, I should say. This is dark. This is more bluish. And members who have been who are a member for 12 to 23 months have a different color of green as badge. Hope everything in the lounge has been to your liking and still is. If not, then let me know by all means. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come, Polderbaan. If not in the lounge as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. John Hughes says, good morning, boy. I still think I'm 10 in my head, if that counts. No, that doesn't count, unfortunately. It's what it says in your passport. I think most of us in our heads still feel like underage kids sometimes, or at least as young adults. Jinsicle also back. Good to see you, mate. Joey Pitt as well. Good morning. Davey asking a very interesting question. Is it wheat or is it weed? Well, I'd like to think it's weed, but if it were weed written in the latter spelling, it probably would have been raided before before the farmer could harvest. Yeah, unfortunately it's the boring wheat. A220 Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb. Flight 450. Looking to the east, that's where you find the bluest bits of the sky. Looking to the south, things look like so. Looking to the southwest, where that area of rain is coming from, it still is looking more or less the way it did half an hour ago. Maybe the clouds are drifting in a bit further, but looking up, it doesn't look like the density is increasing, although there are a few ripples in the clouds that you can see in the distance above the electricity lines. That might be indicative of the denser clouds, which of course make the likelihood of precipitation falling out of those clouds greater. It's 10:22, and that means that in little under 30 minutes the 7478 is going to land here. Will it land here? Will it land on the center runway? That's the interesting thing. Keep me posted. When it enters Dutch airspace, you should be able to see the runway assignment. In the meantime, good morning, Pixie, who is tuning in from Achterhoek. That's to the east, more towards the German border. And there it's still sunny. And we could see when I turned the camera to the east that things are looking a bit better there still. This is Pegasus. And what's this? A sticker, the 100th livery. Does that mean it's the 100th Pegasus airplane, or is it the 100th in this livery? It's Kemal Atatürk. And he even gave his signature. That's a nice detail, having Kemal Atatürk on the tail of the airplane. 3 hours and 6 minutes the flight has lasted. In the meantime, K4 over here, and a little wave from the bird controller who is driving in it. Next up, KLM Malta, arriving from Malta. You'd never guess. And after that, a KLM 777-300 flight 598. And that's returning from Cape Town, and that is of course in South Africa. Yeah, Gladstone visibility is not getting better with the denser clouds approaching. That's the sad reality. Okay, Malta, flight 394, arriving from Malta, A320neo, flight time 2 hours and 51 minutes. It's almost as long as the flight from Istanbul. Though intuitively to me it feels like Malta is closer by to the Netherlands than Istanbul is. But I guess I'm wrong in that. The flight time doesn't lie. Well, yes, technically speaking it should be a little bit closer by. But I thought there'd be a more substantial difference between the two. But that's the same with Dubai and New York. To me, New York feels further away than Dubai, but the flight times are often almost exactly the same. Ah, it's the centennial of the Turkish Republic. That explains why Atatürk was also on the tail. Thanks for the feedback, Arwin. Erin, probably. I'm saying it out loud and I'm thinking, oh, that should probably be pronounced as Erin. In the meantime, Caroline has also returned. And let's quickly turn back before missing out on the landing of the triple. Captain Showboat! Wow! Now, I'm standing further north, so that means that the fire station, until past which it still had its noseware up in the sky, is a bit closer closer by and to the left. But that was a long wheelie, and I'm thinking, is this captain really having been promoted to the 777 League? That was a spectacular landing. Absolutely lovely. And Caroline, as I was saying, also in the chat, she is celebrating a membership anniversary, 23 months, and she writes, not long till blue now. It should be less than a month, Caroline. Enjoy your green badge while you still can, because within a month you will get a new one, a blue one, whether you like it or not. And if you don't want it, the only way to get out of it is to unmember, cancel the membership. Thank you so much for your long-standing support, Caroline, and I hope, I assume, but I keep asking it explicitly, I assume that because you've been a member for such a long time already, the membership still is to your liking, as is the lounge, but if anything is amiss, if anything can be improved on, let me know. It's looking like there's a traffic jam on the A5 highway in the direction of Schiphol Airport. Was looking in the direction of the church, and then I saw the traffic jam. The A9 highway is in the background when the camera is positioned in this orientation. And as you can see in both directions, traffic is just driving normally. Stephen is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. And then he says, I turned blue also. It feels so good. So there you go. Something to look forward to, Caroline. Hey there, Kilroy, goedemorgen. Kilroy, aka Roelof, tuning in from Twello, where the sun is still abundantly shining. Howdy Wouter, goedemorgen, good to see you, mate. Welcome back. So, it's 10:28, and where is the 7478? Still in German airspace, so no runway assignment known for the retro Cathay. Won't be long though, so keep an eye out for that. Keep us posted if anybody sees an update with respect to the runway use. With respect to the runway assignment, I should say. Wouter Bot is also celebrating 7 months of membership, 7 down, many to go, keep it up boy, and thanks to all the mods, he writes. Wouter, thank you so much for your support. 7 months and counting. I hope that 7 month period has been to your liking. I will definitely do my best to keep it up. That was a KLM Embraer. It's narrow bodies o'clock for the time being. Yesterday we had a beautiful ETA special livery. I see one approaching from the east, ETA 108. That's a standard ETA. The Olympic special livery. It was really lovely to see. And in East Flanders it started raining, Davy says. Yeah, it's bound to start raining here as well at some point. But I'd like to think it's not going to be very soon, since the blue bits of sky are still within visual reach. But you can see now, also looking to the northeast, that things are getting a bit more cloudy. But look up and you can see over here it is still okay. But then again, look at those ripples. Those ripples are usually indicative of first of all more wind activity, and second of all it's usually an indication of denser clouds, and denser clouds equate higher likelihood of precipitation. Not sure what happened yesterday with the meter not updating. I have two sources, and you almost always using one. That was failing to update yesterday, but I saw that it is updating again, so I'm back to the old source. Not sure what happened there. Stephen is on the lookout for grebes. We haven't spotted them yet, Stephen. We did see Donald and Daisy briefly earlier in the show. They were first sighted south of me, then they swam to the north. And since I haven't seen them, quite a few people have gathered south and are standing on the bridge at the roundabout. Maybe people who also looked on Flight Radar and saw that there is a special livery 747 underway. Fingers crossed it's going to land here. Hopefully today ATC will be rigid and strict and will not start using the center runway before 11, or ideally a bit after 11, so that the 747, and Erin says Polderbaan it is, and Yellert as well. That's good news, assigned to the Polderbaan, before Patat also. Right, okay, that's good news, guys. That is good news indeed. Cathay 7478 has been assigned to the Polderbaan. For those of you who are curious and are wondering, how do you know? Let's see if I can find that. URL. Oh, what did I do just now? There you go. I usually follow a URL. That gets you, yeah, Maria did as well. That gets you redirected to the flight tracker. And if you go there, you can, you first need to accept cookies. But then if you zoom out, you can see the airplanes that are leaving and are approaching. And here you can see the Cathay Retro. If you click on it, here you can see Runway Polderbaan. In other words, that means that this airplane has been assigned to land on the Polderbaan. Here we have Norwegian that is also coming to Schiphol. That also still has been assigned to the Polderbaan. Everything from the east normally lands on Polderbaan to begin with. So looking at this KLM, clicking on it, you can see Polderbaan. But if another runway is being used and you click on it, you should be able to see it over here in this unit. So the Cathay Cargo 747 Special livery will be landing here. And Tom Schillemans is also on the way. He is in the JetBlue arriving from Boston. And also expected to land here in around 30 minutes. Are you seated on the right hand side, Tom, next to a window? And do you happen to have your phone? Well, you probably have your phone with you. If you are seated next to a right hand side window, then obviously you know what I will be asking you. Shine the light. Mrs. Professor says, hopefully you don't go to center. That should not be the case, normally speaking, Mrs. Professor, since he is flying in from the west. So even with parallel arrivals in progress, normally speaking, Tom should be landing on the Polderbaan, but you never know, of course. Theoretically, it's always possible. If at the moment of arrival, a runway inspection is in progress, then that's a problem. Hey, who is that? Who's that girl? It is Lisa, celebrating 20 months of membership and writing in Dutch, 20-month members, let yourself be heard. If all is well, the retro Cathay 747 is coming to the Polderbaan, Lisa. Not sure if you heard already, but that's great news. Also, that you're 20 months a member already. How time flies, that's more than 1.5 years ago already. Well, thank you so much for your support as a long-standing member, Lisa. If anything in the lounge is amiss, let me know. And I think I know what you're about to say. I need more chippies. We do have some more chippies in the cabinet above the microwave / oven. The need for chippies is really high. You can find them over there. And indeed, Flores, 25 months, that's also good. Let yourself be heard. Tom is on the right hand side, but not next to a window. Maybe I can convince the woman who is seated there to let me shine the light. Yeah, that would be nice. Are you seated before or after the wing, Tom? In front or after the wing? So that at least I know generally where I need to point the camera. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Cavia Power! Thank you so much for the vote of confidence and for the support. You will now have access to the 34 custom emojis that our members have access to for as long as you stay on as a member. Enjoy them, have fun with them. Custom emojis don't come on a budget, so you can use them as much and as frequently as you want, whether or not the situation is appropriate. In fact, studies have shown that the more inappropriately the situation, using custom emojis get more fun, so do use them. Of course I know where you stack your shippies. What do you think I do when you go to bed? I go around checking every cabinet. Where are those chippies? Finding the chippies treasure hunt. It's the evening chippies treasure hunt. All right, let's see. Tarum is up next. Flight 361, 737-800, arriving from Bucharest, 2 hours and 29 minutes on the way. 12-year-old airplane, first flight March 2013. Transportil Aérien Roman. That almost sounds French, doesn't it? Behind the wing, around 10 to 11 windows after the last overwing exit. Right, so really more towards the back than towards the front. That means I'll focus the camera on the second half of the fuselage. Indeed, Danny. Waarom? Daarom. Daarom is geen reden. Als je van de trap valt, ben je gauw beneden. That's a Dutch saying that I used to say in my youth. And how does it translate? Why? That's why. If you fall off the stairs, you'll be downstairs quickly. It's completely nonsensical. The only thing that makes it a bit funny is that it rhymes in Dutch. It's a Romance language. Ah, okay. But isn't French the language of love? Isn't that what French people oftentimes like to think? Ah. So Romanian does sound a lot like French. Ah, nice. Hey, I didn't know that, Jan. That's interesting information. So there's a reason why it sounds almost French, what was on the Tarom airplane. Yeah, and in German it's the same as Fern Sebastian is saying, waarom, daarom, genau. Although the rhyme probably doesn't work. Als je van de trappen valt, ben je gauw beneden. Ja, yeah. If you fall down the stairs, you'll be downstairs quickly. Can't argue with that. Those are just facts. Wouter is asking in Dutch if it's going to rain. It is expected to start raining at some point, though when exactly remains to be seen. Hey, dear Contour, thank you so much for the kind words. He writes, always nice to see the streams from AMS, and he writes that in a membership anniversary message. Dear Contour, being a member for 21 months, thank you so much for the kind words and for your long-standing support, Dirk. I hope that everything in the lounge has been to your liking. Your experience as a member has been worthwhile. If that's not the case, if anything can be improved upon, let me know. And I'll delve into it and see what I can do to make your experience better. Hand on deck. Hand on the control deck. Clemencia also in the chat, good to see ya. Nick, good morning. Nick says that rain is expected any moment in The Hague. Hey Annette, good morning and welcome back. Perfect timing. As you could see from the title, we are awaiting a special livery retro 7478 Cathay Cargo. And it has been assigned to the Polderbaan, ladies and gentlemen. Mustn't forget to keep the camera rolling so that I can also maybe make a nice separate video out of that one. My weather app is giving me a warning that around 10:45 in my hometown there will be light showers for some while. Yeah, that's still not where we are currently standing, so we'll see. Annette can't wait to see the Cathay Retro, nor can I. I'm really excited. I was excited this morning to see it on Flight Radar underway to Amsterdam. Already when it was announced, I said this is an airplane we're going to see probably pretty soon, because the fleet of Cathay Cargo, the 7478 fleet, is only 14, I believe. And they fly to Amsterdam on a daily basis, so that logically means it cannot take indefinite to get here. Probably already visited Schiphol before, but maybe when I was on vacation, or maybe on a day that I wasn't able to stream. So it's going to be a channel premiere for us. KLM 777-300 arriving from Panama City up next. Flight 758, 9 hours and 16 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel BVG Bravo Victor Golf. That's a 13-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in May 2012. Artem is mentioning the A340. I'm looking behind me, but I'm not seeing anything yet. Ah, yes. The Dows, the A340-600, taking off to Paramaribo. And there it is. Quick glimpse of that as well. That's the A340-600. The Dows on its way back to Suriname. And in the meantime, that was KLM flight 758 arriving here from Panama City. Next up is going to be Transavia flight 6610 arriving from Innsbruck. If you ever get the chance to take a flight into or out of Innsbruck, by all means, please do so. South Island Aviation is also back in the chat. Good morning, mate. Perfect timing. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps to bring in more viewers in the future, and we need it. With this only being the 11th stream of the show, of the year, I mean. We've fallen out of the algorithm. We need to get back into it. Your likes and subscriptions and shares help a great deal. I'm not happy until we average 1,000 viewers on weekday streams. That's what I hope we'll ever get a chance to grow into. Nick says that there is a Boeing RC-135 above Amsterdam. I am hearing something, but when I now look up, I only see clouds. Unfortunately, here in the immediate vicinity, it's overcast. The only bits of blue that I can see are near my easterly horizon. That's the only bit that's now still open. This is what the south is looking like. The rain area is over there somewhere, though looking to my west and looking to the southwest, it's still looking okay, although it definitely has become a bit more dark than initially was the case. All right, the Cathay Cargo 7478 is approaching mainland North Holland. That's the northwesterly most province of the Netherlands. Just having crossed Markermeer, that body of water that you see. And it's looking to become the 5th. Will KLM flight 636 be directed before the 747? I think it will. I think it will. A couple of narrow bodies to go through here first. First one being Hans' favorite, Vueling, flight 8365, arriving from Malaga. 2 hours and 34 minutes on the way. Spanish registration, ECMKO, Mike Kilo Oscar, 9 years old. And Fern Sebastian renewing his membership. Welcome back to the Aurora Skyline, Sebastian. Thank you so much for your support and for your vote of confidence. We left everything the way you left it. We kept everything the way you left it. So feel free to indulge in the custom emojis and spam us with them. Mr. Mika, good morning. Ramon, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else. Mervin, good morning. Welcome back, mate. Are you guys excited? I am, definitely. A gorgeous 747-8 retro Cathay Cargo has been assigned to the Polderbaan. You may have seen pictures of it before, you may have seen it on other live streams before, but it's going to be a channel premiere for AMS Live. Since I didn't have a picture taken myself from the airplane, I couldn't use a thumbnail, couldn't create a thumbnail with the exact airplane. But believe me, I will once I get home from streaming. All right. The Dreamliner from KLM will be 3rd and the 747 will be 4th. Eftel Boy asks if I'm streaming this Sunday by any chance. Weather permitting, mate. I always am available to stream on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, unless I do sometimes have appointments, but it's mostly weather dependent. Unless I'm on vacation, like I was in January and a couple of weeks back, but I've got no more vacations, no long vacations planned. We'll be away at least for one day on a Saturday come the end of March. But no more weeks away for the foreseeable future. So it's mostly weather dependent whether or not I'll be able to go out. Speaking of that, with regards to tomorrow, I also already saw on the weather app that tomorrow it's going to be showery, so I'm not sure. I hope that's going to change. I'm not too sure about being able to go out tomorrow. I'm going to check, of course, tonight, tomorrow morning. But unlike what I was happily chatting about in yesterday's stream, the weather forecasts have gotten a bit more grim. Now they are saying after the weekend it's going to get sunny again and spring-like and no rain expected, and that's all well and good, but after the weekend is gone, the streaming opportunities are too. Then again, it is nice that when Captain Jerry is coming to the Netherlands next week, he will be having good weather here. Now, we saw this airplane yesterday as well, landing on the center runway. Now it is landing here. We've seen it before already. It is the Norwegian UNICEF special livery. Lipstick with a bit of blue. Now, two wide bodies, KLM 78710, and after that, the Cathay Cargo 7478. In the meantime, Melbourne Flyer and Pixie 1404 just became members for the first time. I welcome both of you to the Aurora Sky Lounge, and I want to thank both of you for your vote of confidence. You both have now access to our 34 custom emojis. See that you use them however you see fit. Make sure that you do use them. That goes for all members, new and old. I think you guys, I said it before yesterday, most of you are too frugal with using the custom emojis. Don't feel like we're being annoyed by you guys using those custom emojis. Have fun with them. Get creative with them. And thank you so much, both Melbourne Flyer and Pixie 1404, for your support, for your vote of confidence, and for becoming our latest Aurora Sky Lounge members. Well, that is until Caroline Party just now went ahead and gifted a membership. Marciola receiving the gifted membership. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Marciola. Have fun with the custom emojis. Don't forget to say thank you to Caroline. Caroline, thank you so much for your generosity. So that makes Marciola the latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Right, well. Hadi Gerard, goedemorgen. There you go, Lisa. Lead by example, lead by example. Oh? The KLM 100 years? Up first. More wheelies. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. There it is. Channel premiere. Cathay Cargo Flight 2067. The 80th anniversary special livery. It's a retro, and what a looker it is. 7478. 7 hours and 48 minutes on the way. It's poetry in aviation. 7 hours and 48 minutes on the way. The Boeing 748. Registration Bravo Lima Juliet Echo. 14-year-old airplane. Its first flight August 2011, making it 14 years old. And a warm welcome to Celino Marcoland, who is joining the Aurora Sky Lounge as our latest member. Until Big Al just now gifting a membership to David, Welcome to you both. David, don't forget to say thank you for the gifted membership. To Alan, thank you for your generosity. Have fun with the custom emojis, guys. Have fun with them. Enjoy them. Let's have a look and listen to Cathay Cargo. 14 years old. 7478 freighter. Bravo, Lima, Juliet, Echo. Don't forget, guys, if you're enjoying the show, leave a like if you want to help this channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Cathay Cargo. And it's still dry. What a tremendously beautiful airplane. It's almost looking like the retro Transavia on steroids, doesn't it? Even the firefighters are impressed and are setting off some fireworks to celebrate. In the meantime, outbound flight, or is it? Sounds like it might be inbound, but then again, why am I not seeing it on flight radar? Or no, wait, I am. It is inbound. KLM flight 702. What a beautiful machine. What a beautiful machine. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Dirk on Tour, who just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. 5 new members courtesy of you, Dirk. Thank you so much for your stupendously generous gift. And I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership from you will say thank you and enjoy the membership as well. If you received a gifted membership, don't forget to thank whoever gifted you the membership. And if you enjoy the membership, consider renewing it once it expires, or maybe gifting a membership to somebody else who might also enjoy it. Dirk, thank you so much for your generosity. Thomas in the JetBlue arriving from Boston, now number 2. I thought I saw he mentioned that he wasn't going to be able to shine the lights. That's okay, we still will be able to film your arrival here, Tom. It's still dry here. EasyJet has landed here. And next after that, Indigo. Combo shot with K4. And it was KLM flight 702 arriving from Buenos Aires. The flight path tells me that they are assigning it to the center runway and not to the Polderbaan. Here is Indigo, and Tom is in the airplane that you see on the far left. That's JetBlue flight 631 arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. Indigo flight 21 up first, operated by Norse, arriving from Mumbai in India, 9 hours and 46 minutes underway. The Lima November Lima Oscar. Lima November Oscar.
Morning, hello.
Hey, goedemorgen. Hi. More people here. People have come to see the Cathay 747.
And you?
And me.
Of course. From Frankfurt arrived yesterday.
What's that?
We arrived from Frankfurt, Germany.
You arrived from Frankfurt yesterday. Hey, nice.
The weekend in Amsterdam, and we said, okay, we go to the Polderbaan.
Weekend in Amsterdam. Well, what a day you guys chose to come over. What's your guys' names? Thomas. Martina, oh, even more. A whole group of people. Guten Morgen. Und herzlich willkommen. So yeah, the Cathay 747, you guys were in time to see it, right?
Just in time.
Just in time, excellent. That was. I think that's going to be the highlight of the day. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure it did visit Schiphol before, but it's the first time I was able to film it.
With the new levy for sure.
Yeah. There's also an A350-900 in the same livery, but that's not coming to Schiphol because Cathay, the passenger Cathay, is always an A350-1000. So
My favorite.
it is a nice airplane, absolutely. So we have one of our viewers on board, the next airplane arriving here. This is JetBlue flight 631 arriving from Boston, Massachusetts, an A321neo. 6 hours and 4 minutes underway, November 4074 Juliet. 2 years old, first flight May 2023. Tom is in the back somewhere. He said he wasn't going to be able to shine the light, but we will still be able to film your arrival. Lance also back in the chat. Nostalgia on steroids, indeed. I also saw pictures of the Cathay livery from a few decades ago, and it's very similar, isn't it? Such a lovely machine. I'm really happy that Cathay not only donned one of their A350s in that special livery, but also one of their cargo 74s, because that cargo 74 at least comes to Schiphol. That passenger A350, like I just said, isn't. Right, well Tom, welcome back to the Netherlands, mate. Let's see if we can see any movement in the back. No lights. I'm also unable to see anybody waving. Maybe you guys are. Tom Schulemans back in the Netherlands, on board this flight. Coming in hot. Captain Jerry in the chat, good to see you. Richard, goedemorgen. Thijs, goedemorgen. Melbourne Flyer, good morning. Martin, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hope you guys were in time to see the Cathay 747 Retro. I will make a separate video out of that one. It's still taxiing and within visual range. There he is. What a stunning airplane that is, isn't it? Highlight of the day, if you ask me. Hey, and that's Nippon Cargo also on the move. Nippon Cargo 747. Ah, the woman next to Tom was still sleeping with closed windows. Well, should have woken her up. Excuse me. Excuse me. Need to open the window. Need to open the blinds. And need to shine the light. You just had to say...
Whoa, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Anyway, this is KLM flight 765, countdown flight number, arriving from Bonaire, A330-200. Which one is this? It's the PHAOB, full up. Flight time 8 hours 50 minutes. A 20-year-old A330-200. First flight was in July 2005. Saudia Dreamliner. No. I spoke too soon. It's normally a Dreamliner, but this is a Saudia A330. Is that Saudia Cargo? Huh? Yeah, Saudia Cargo A330 in the new livery going to the center runway. There it is. Have a look at it. Yesterday, the Dreamliner 215 flight was a special livery. A variant on this new updated standard livery. Still, I think this looks infinitely better than that bland beige. Not seeing anything in the immediate proximity of the runway yet, so we are able to follow this airplane a bit more extensively. This is Saudia Cargo, flight 933, arriving from Jeddah, 6 hours and a minute on the way. A330-300 P2F. That's probably an abbreviation indicating that this was a passenger to freight conversion, if I had to guess. The airplane is 14 years old and its first flight was in November 2011. And interestingly, it is registered in Ireland, EI LKD Lima Kilo Delta. Next time, Tom, next time. Indeed, Erin, at least Dutch carriers always instruct the passengers to open the blinds upon landing. Not sure if that is standard procedure for all international carriers as well. You'd think so, because it is a safety requirement to make sure that your eyes are adjusted to the ambient lighting in case of an emergency. But then again, if you're asleep, doesn't matter, does it? All right, what's up next? Surinam. But okay, we already saw Surinam, the dows we saw taking off. And it's interesting to see that SLM is now also arriving here. Flight 994, arriving from Paramaribo, but this is Plus Ultra. This is one of their rental A330s. Plus Ultra, Spanish registered ECOI. ECOI. ESOI, not sure. Echo Charlie Oscar India. 14-year-old. A330-300, first flight was in February 2012. Right, Tom says none of the JetBlue flights I've been on asked to open the blinds. Okay, so, well, there you go. It's like I said, I'm not sure if it is standard practice with all carriers, and apparently it's not. Plus Ultra, flying on behalf of Surinam. We already saw the outbound flight back to Paramaribo. I'm not sure if this was a scheduled flight or not. The flight number does seem to be normal. But let me think. Usually Surinam arrived on Thursday, left on Friday, and then arrived again on Saturday, if I recall correctly. So that begs the question, is this an extra flight? Or have they changed their schedule because of greater demand? Not exactly sure. I think that the outbound flight of the dows was the normal flight, at least that I know always took place. This does look like an additional flight. Anyway. Parallel arrivals have commenced. It's 11:09 and the airplanes arriving from the east are going to the center runway, and everything arriving from the west for the time being to the Polderbaan. The next airplane to land here on Polderbaan is going to be KLM flight 982, arriving from London City. That's number 190. Erin asks if Surinam Airways has any own airplanes, and I think they do, narrow bodies, but those are for domestic flights. Unless they are also leased, but I think they might be owned. In the meantime, the 777 that we saw passing by overhead a couple of minutes ago is now on final to the center runway. Here it is. That's KLM flight 702, arriving from Buenos Aires. And that is in Latin America. in the relative proximity of a country called
Ecuador!
Klaas is also back in the chat. And he is celebrating a membership anniversary, 11 months. Hello everyone, you have a nice weekend. And as I am saying this, it is beginning to trickle here. There's a bit of rain falling right now. So the rain beginning at 11:10. You're going again? Okay, well, yeah. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of the end for today.
Definitely one of the best.
Hey, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your stay, and hopefully we'll meet again. If you're in the vicinity in the upcoming days, by all means come over and say hi if you're in the area. All right? Indeed.
Maybe they have stickers, but I don't see it. I don't know.
You'll be able to hear me and recognize me from quite a distance. Some people still mistake me for another streamer, but if you watch regularly, it's hard to make the mistake. Either way, all the best, enjoy your stay, and maybe see you later in the weekend. Take care, bye-bye. So yeah, a few droplets have begun to fall, and I'm wondering how bad does it look when opening up the flight radar. Let's have a quick look. This is what it is saying right now. This is the loop from the past hour. So yeah, things still seem to be dissolving as they're moving in. So it's not going to stop anytime soon. That's definitely the way it looks like. Let's also double check the Dutch Met Office website. That also has radar that, yeah, you can see on the last stills, you can see how it is dissolving. And you can see here is a bit of openness. So let's just hold out a bit longer and see what's going to happen next. KLM Flight 1136 having arrived here from Dublin, Ireland. Klaas, thank you so much for your ongoing support. It's always a pleasure to have you in our chat, and I hope you will keep coming back for a long time to come. Also nice whenever you guys are coming over from Germany, from Bremen, and when you're visiting. Hopefully next time it will be good weather when that will happen. The police is over there. The BBS, buitenbewaking Schiphol, outside guards Schiphol. Not really a good translation, but they are responsible for the safety of the outer areas of the airfield. Officer Rudolph and his colleagues are part of that team. And Martin had a look at Google, and Google says that Surinam Airways has two 737-800s and leases for long haul. Sander Shinobi is also in the chat, and he says, if weather permits tomorrow and you're streaming, I'm coming by. I hope I will be able to go out tomorrow, Sander. I'm not sure yet. When I looked at Buienradar 24 hours, the 24-hour extrapolation, it wasn't looking that good. Howdy Kars, goedemorgen. Aaron has to go get on with work, so he has to go. See you later, mate. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys are still enjoying the show. If you are enjoying, don't forget to leave a like if you want to help this channel grow. If you don't want to help this channel grow, then of course don't leave a like. We definitely need to get back into the algorithm again. And your likes and shares and subscriptions help a great deal to get that possible, to make that possible. We are now waiting for the A380 as next quad squad member. With the exception of the Retro 747 and the A380, there wasn't a lot underway. The next airplane of interest, I think, is going to be, let's see. Let's open up Flight Radar. And we can see that in the vicinity of Vienna there is the Emirates A380. Its expected time of arrival is 12:30, an hour and 15 minutes from now. We can see that the Retro Transavia is on its way to Thessaloniki and still has to come back, so that's going to land here in the late afternoon. 1:16, the ETA for the Orange Pride returning from Lima in Peru. Let's see if we can keep things reasonably dry until the Emirates. I'm not sure that we will, but it's not raining that hard. Still a few droplets, but it does feel like those are already slowing down. Another KLM 737. This one is arriving from Chester. It doesn't have a carrying cabin in the back. Carol will have to sit with the plebs like the rest. Parallel arrival still in progress, and in the background to the center runway is another KLM A321neo. That does come equipped with a carrying cabin in the back, as you can see. Gerrit is reporting that it's gotten dry again in Rijnsburg, so it will probably also start getting dry here pretty soon as well. There are a few droplets on my phone screen, so I am going to clean the screens briefly. If droplets coagulate and start rolling on my phone interprets that as scrolling, as using the phone. That usually results in unwanted things, so keeping the phone screen clean is important for the continuation, the undisturbed continuation of the stream. In the meantime, it seems that we've crossed through 400 likes. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. That is really nice. What's happening now? It's Air France flight 1500 arriving from Paris, a Bombardier C-Series 300 and A220 up next. Mervyn is going to Chester in a few weeks. Voluntarily, or do you have to go there? Last sip of coffee. Had a thermos of coffee with me, since I planned on going out a bit earlier. No time for coffee at home. Air France flight 1500 up next, arriving from Paris, 44 minutes on the way. Nominal flight duration. It's the Fahuzux Foxtrot Hotel Zulu Uniform X-Ray. The airplane is 2 years old. Its first flight was in April 2023. Howdy Dennis, goedemorgen, welcome back mate. Hope you were in time to see the 747 Retro from Cathay Cargo. If not, I will make a separate video out of that landing, ladies and gentlemen. Expect that later in the day. Paul also back in the chat. Mate, don't tell me that you only... Oh, yeah, he missed it. I already thought so. Assuming you say hi the moment you enter our chat. Mate, it was gorgeous. It landed here on the Polderbaan as well. We were so lucky with that. It was still dry. Absolutely lovely. Hadi Peter, goedemorgen. Travis, goedemorgen. And Sandra Shinobi says, don't know if you heard, but Air France sold their baby buses. I didn't know that. How many do they have left in their fleet? And how quickly are they going to get rid of them? In the meantime, I'm cleaning, or at least trying to keep the camera dry as best as I can. Trickle is still continuing at a lower pace than before, so probably in the process of getting dry again. Also, equip Quick wipe down of the stream deck. Keep things as dry as possible for as long as possible. So in an hour and 10 minutes from now, the Emirates A380 will be landing, if all is well, here on the Polderbaan. It's not in the vicinity of a parallel arrival time slot today. Senna asks if it is still dry here, and the answer is no. The answer is no. It started raining here, not very hard. But if I turn the camera into the direction of the wind, you'll see that the lens will quickly pick up a few droplets. Nothing too severe. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to continue filming and streaming at least until the A380 will have landed. And we'll see from then on what the situation is going to be like. Austrian on the glide step to the center runway. Still missing the word wolf. And the KLM in the foreground, passing by. Austrian flight 313, arriving from Vienna. Next airplane to the Polderbaan, KLM flight 954, arriving from Newcastle. E2 Embraer 195. Hey Ruben, goedemorgen and welcome to the show. Hope you were in time to see the retro 7478 from Cathay Cargo. It landed here shortly before 11. I will make a separate video out of it later today, so if you missed it, don't be afraid. Not only can you scroll back, of course, but you can also await the notification later today of the separate video. Channel premiere. I'm not sure if it has been to Schiphol already before. It probably has, but it's the whining, the moaning of geared turbofan engines, either belonging to an E2 Embraer or to an A220. Those at present are the only two airplane types that fly to Schiphol that are equipped with that type of engine. Mervyn says Air France has ordered 60 A220s to replace its older A318 and 19s with. That's great news because I love those airplanes. They are so sleek and beautiful to see. Even with a relatively dull livery like Air France's. Forgive me anybody who thinks that Air France's livery is beautiful, but I think it's a bit dull, but it looks so much better on an A220 than on an A320 family member. Same with the livery of Croatia Airlines. Also relatively boring and dime in a dozen, but it does look better on an A220 than on an A320 or related. Steph asks how late the 747 is going to land. It landed half an hour ago, mate. You missed it. It has already landed. Ian in Aberdeen, Scotland, good morning. He's going to fly to AMS next Friday on flight 912 from Aberdeen. Hope it's Polderbaan landing. We'll have my camera light flashing. I hope that I'll be there to film it. I think it should be dry. At least the current predictions for next week will be sunny and dry. Don't know about the wind. Usually the prevailing wind here is southwesterly, so more often than not, when you are flying into Schiphol, you will be landing on either the Polderbaan or the center runway, depending on the time of day. But with the wind blowing from the south, or at least with wind having a southerly component, a Polderbaan landing is always likely, particularly if you're arriving from the west. Hadi Niels, goedemorgen. And Scry, good morning. He asks, what's your favorite livery? Standard, not special. I think the prettiest standard livery is maybe, well, that's a difficult question. I like ITA. I like ITA a lot. I also like Singapore Airlines, which is a classic in itself. If you look at old videos from the 90s, you'll see that Singapore's livery hasn't changed. And I like that. It's already a classic, it's already a retro livery basically. But I do like the blue of ITA. It's very pretty. Really stands out. The trickle is still continuing here. Means I will have to keep the camera and the screen surfaces clean at times. Once again, it's time to wipe both the camera and my phone. So, phone screen off. And another rundown of the phone screen. Maybe, let me see, with the wind, how easy is it for me to hold an umbrella up with one hand? Maybe if it is the small one. I see that Mrs. Professor is signing off. She's going to bed. Thank you so much for joining, Mrs. Professor. Sleep well. Hopefully see you again soon. All right, let's see how this will go. Right. Now I need to find a way to fixate my... Yeah, my umbrella in the one of the front pockets of my parka, resting against my chest. That seems to be working, right? Well, there you go. I'm standing under my own umbrella, my small storm umbrella. Maybe I need a wider diameter to also keep the front of the camera dry, but I think we're good for now. Better than we were before. Yeah, so ITA is class indeed, I agree. So choosing a favorite is really hard actually, because ITA is class. They also enjoy watching Singapore Airlines, like I said before. This is one of the two special liveries from KLM's fleet, still in the SkyTeam livery. Number 190 and a 737-900. The Embraer has had a nose job, as you can clearly see. Papa Hotel Echo Zulu X-ray. And Niels asks, and what is the most hideous livery? Hey Thomas, good afternoon, good to see you. And Vroom, good afternoon as well. Tina, goedemorgen. Happy Carp, good morning. Happy Carp asks, what did I miss? Well, you missed the 7478 that I alluded to in the title. That landed shortly before 11. Here on the Polderbaan when it was still dry. Other than that, not much. What will be the ugliest livery? That's a good question. I'm not per se a fan of any all-white airplanes, but yeah, does that make them ugly? Not per se. I'm thinking maybe switching the... Yeah, this is, I think, a bit better. Repositioning my umbrella to my right chest instead of my left chest, so that it is in closer proximity to the camera, resulting in the camera staying dry while still being able to film with two hands. Even though it is still raining a little. In the meantime, Captain Jerry, thank you so much for your super chat. May foreigners wear orange in the Netherlands? They definitely are allowed to do so, mate. Google Koningsdag and you'll see. There's actually a full day dedicated to people being allowed to wear orange and also acting stupidly, but well, that's what a lot of people do every day of the week. Never an excuse needed for that. King's Day. That's on April 27th, if I recall correctly. That's when people all wear orange. but you are allowed to use to dress in orange whether you are a foreigner or not. That doesn't matter. There's a there's a runway control. There's a runway inspection in progress. Bird control is on the runway. Gives me a moment to wipe the few droplets that have landed on the lens away, for as long as it is going to be. For as long as it's going to stay clean, means that. Well, are they doing a runway inspection? I'm now wondering. Or nope. Bird control has left the runway. I was already wondering because I already saw that the next airplane was not too far away. On flight radar at least. For us, still a bit vague to see, but there it is. That's the next airplane. That's KLM flight 972, arriving from Humberside. That's number 175. Indeed, Hans, Ramelappen. Clean the windows. Martin asks, what's the quality of your stream? Well, it should be 1080p, 50 or 60 frames per second. Why do you ask? So earlier we saw that there was a traffic jam on the A5 in the direction towards Schiphol Airport. Right now you can see that traffic is moving in both directions. Old church now apparently converted to office spaces over there. And the BBS is still parked over there. They have been for a while now. Hey, ciao Hendrik and Roberto, good to see you. Ciao ragazzi. Polly wonders, where's the bastard coots? They are on land further to the north. There they are. Oh. Russell over there. He's also saying hi to everybody. Let's see, KLM flight 972 up next, Embraer 175 arriving from Humberside, 38 minutes underway. Papa Hotel, Echo X-Ray Hotel, 9-year-old airplane, first flight May 2016. Hadi Crystal, goedemorgen, good to see you again. The FO saw that we were filming, started waving, I waved back, and hey, are we getting another single firefighter on patrol over here? I spy with my little eye.
I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter.
Right? Are they going to visit the police or what's going on here? Interesting to see. Still a bit away from each other. Is that a stare down? What's happening here? Prodigy indeed. Indeed, Paul. Yeah, and that's Russell over here in the foreground, vying for attention. Grah, grah. Oh, and he's continuing. It looks like one of those converted vans that has been converted into a camper. If you look at the top on the left hand side, it's almost like there is a sunscreen over there. Oh wait, it's also on the other side. For a moment it was looking like one of those converted campers. And this is EasyJet with an A319 arriving from Liverpool. Next up, KLM flight 924 arriving from Edinburgh. There it is. That's a 737-700. Flight time 1 hour and 3 minutes. The Papa Hotel Bravo Golf Mike, 15 years old, first of February 2011. Of course, Scotland, Edinburgh. Let's see, it's 11:36, so on paper in 4 minutes from now the parallel arrivals should stop. There are still at least 3 airplanes on the glide slope to the center runway, as far as I can see, without zooming out further. Means that at least today they began and will end at more regular times than yesterday. It's looking like the MAX 8 from Sun Express is still being directed to the center runway. It is looking like that might be the last airplane that will be directed to the center runway. Hopefully it will be. Iceland Air is coming from the west. That's an A321neo. In the meantime, I think it has stopped raining here. I don't hear anything on my umbrella anymore. So let's put that down again. Yep. Once again has gotten dry. Big picture wise, this is what it looks like. This is looking to the south. This is where the wind is blowing from southwest. The wind, if you look in the tickers, is 12 knots now. It has picked up somewhat. You're not hearing it as much as yesterday because I have brought the blimp with me. Unlike yesterday when I thought it was going to be calm, but it turned out to be a bit more windy than anticipated. Small dead cat versus a big furry, which you can see over there on the ground, makes all the difference. Now, even though it has gotten dry, I did see that there were a few droplets on the camera lens. And I also have a few droplets elsewhere on screen. So let me quickly take this moment to get rid of those. There you go. Lens should be dry again. Camera LCD now too. The phone screen is all right. Stream Deck also looks decently dry, so we can continue with filming, right? Or is Sun Express continuing to the Polderbaan? No, that's definitely going to the center runway. And there's no traffic. There's no traffic on the glide slope to the Polderbaan right now. Are they doing a runway inspection? I'm looking around to see if there's something on the runway. From what I can see over here, that's not the case yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to do a runway inspection before closing the center runway again. For now, the only airplane here in visual range is this one, going to the center runway, KLM flight 1762, arriving from Bremen. That's number 175. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Hailstorm56 for your super chat. You didn't have to use a super chat to get your message across, but thank you so much for doing it anyway. Hailstorm says, hi from Australia. Amazing stream, visiting AMS for the first time next month via KLM flight 836. Singapore to Amsterdam, can't wait. And BNE, that's Brisbane, right? So you'll be flying from Singapore to Amsterdam. And how long is the stopover? How long will you be staying in the Netherlands? Looking forward to your arrival. That's probably going to be a very early morning arrival local time, isn't it? Or late. Nah, I think it's airplane from Singapore is probably in the early morning, isn't it? Thank you so much, Hailstorm, for your super chat, and looking forward to your arrival. If you get a chance to come over, definitely come over and say hi. I hope that the weather will be good in the period that you'll be visiting. Next month, still March. In Dutch we say Maart roertse staart, which doesn't really translate properly to English, but it is an indication, a rhyme that is indicative of the variable weather that you can still have in the Netherlands in March. Looking around on the Polderbaan runway, I'm not seeing any traffic, and I do see that the Iceland Air A321neo is flying base already and is turning in, so maybe they're not going to do a runway inspection after all. This looks like it has become the last airplane to the center runway. Sun Express flight 944 arriving from Izmir, if I'm not mistaken. ADB. Yeah, ADB is indeed Izmir in Turkey. Niels writes in Dutch, what I've always wondered, people, do pilots have to keep a maximum speed in mind if they are driving back towards the gate? And if so, what is that speed? That's a good question. I think that there are rules with respect to the maximum speed for taxiing on airports. You have Jeppesen maps for all airports. Usually these days it's all digital on a tablet. Jeppesen is more or less, I think, if not the only source that makes them. You have maps with overviews of the entire airfield, all the approaches, all the standard instrument departures, all the arrival routes, the runways, the taxi areas, and also probably if there are rules with respect to maximum taxi speed, they are probably noted in those maps. I'm not sure what they are for Schiphol. I do know that they're not checking to see if people are speeding. Not to my knowledge. I've been on board airplanes that have landed on Polderbaan, and on their taxi back along the center runway, they usually pick up quite a bit of speed. Not sure if that's within the confines of the maximum speed. Hey Peter, goedemorgen, good to see you again, mate. Dion, goedemorgen. Bert Blank, goedemorgen. Retiep de Vries, goedemorgen. And T94, a van filled with people. And not just the driver was waving, but the people behind the driver were too. If you guys join us only just now, you will have missed the arrival of the retro Cathay Cargo 7478. I will make a separate video out of that later today, so don't you worry. It landed shortly before 11 and it was everything I had hoped it was going to be. Loud, shiny new livery. It was gorgeous. In approximately 45 minutes from now, we are expecting today's Emirates A380. Should be arriving here around 12:30, last time we checked. And if all is well, yeah, looking on flight radar, you can see everything inbound once again is coming to the Polderbaan, and that's going to stay like this until approximately 1 o'clock. With the Emirates A380 arriving at around 12:30, it's not going to run the risk of going to the center runway, unless of course there's an emergency and airplanes have to deviate. Assuming that's not going to be the case, then we're also going to see the A380 here on the Polderbaan today. It's a standard livery. Unfortunately for us, I'm still looking forward to seeing a few of the lately announced specials. Iceland Air with a Max, no, not a Max 8. With an A321neo, flight 500, carrying cabin in the back and a green accent on the tail. In the meantime, a massive big thank you and welcome back to Rob Drop 1. No, wait, not a welcome back. It's a membership anniversary. I thought it was a membership renewal, but it is a membership anniversary. Rob Drop is celebrating 8 months of membership. The membership anniversary highlighted message without any additional text to it, but that's okay. Thank you so much for your continued support, Rob Drop. I hope that everything in the lounge still is to your liking. If that's not the case, by all means, do let me know. If you have suggestions for improvements, let me know. Wouter asks until what time do I stream today, and that's a good question. I don't know the answer. Initially, I was hoping that we were going to be able to make it until the 7478 landed. Now only a few droplets have fallen and it's once again dry. The next airplane to stay around for is going to be the Emirates A380. 45 minutes after that, or 45 to 60 minutes after that, the Orange Pride is also expected on its way from Lima. Should be arriving here around 1:30. We'll see if it's staying dry. Obviously, I'll stick out a bit longer if it is going to rain. If it's going to rain fiercely, maybe wrap up after the A380. And if it's going to rain in a minute from now, then maybe the A380 is already too far-fetched. It's weather dependent, as it almost always is. Weather dependent and the flow of traffic. The flow of traffic is not the bottleneck today. Like I said, we have the A380 in less than 45 minutes, and in 1.5 hours we are expecting the Orange Pride. So those are worthwhile airplanes to stick around for, but question is, will the weather allow us to? That's the bottleneck. Right, Wouter is going for lunch, so maybe we'll see him, maybe we won't. If we won't see each other again today, then we'll see each other again soon enough though, don't you worry. Not too sure about tomorrow yet. I will mention it again Last time I checked, for tomorrow, showers were expected, and I'm not sure to what extent, and from when till when, and where. Weather permitting, I'll go out tomorrow and also on Sunday. In the meantime, Hailstorm 56 just has become our latest Aurora Skylounge member. Thank you so much for your support, for your vote of confidence. If you need to know where stuff is, ask around, because many have gone before you and will happily show you the way. You now have access to our 34 custom emojis. Make sure that you use them. That goes for all members, new and old, gifted or non-gifted, it doesn't matter. 34 custom emojis, that's a lot of options, and make sure that you use them. You can use them whenever you want. It doesn't matter if it is relevant, if the context is relevant or not. Have fun with them, that's the most important thing. A warm welcome once again to Hailstorm 56, our latest Aurora Skylounge member. And this is number 190 that initially was looking to do a wheelie, but then it dropped the nose gear pretty soon thereafter. I think Captain Wheelie has made promotion to the 777 League. We saw him perhaps earlier today, because that 777, that 1777 was really something. Mark also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Gerrit has to go off for some duties. Thank you for joining, Gerrit. Enjoy your day and see you later.
Hoi.
Hey, goeiedag.
Nog een keer live kijken.
Leuk. Hoe heten jullie?
Hans en Sam.
Hans en Sam, goedemiddag. Of nee, morgen is het nog. Nog 9 minuten. Helemaal uit Drenthe. Waren jullie op tijd om de 747 van Cathay te zien?
Nee.
Oei, dat is jammer. Die was hier om 11:05. Special Livery, 80 jaar, Cathay Pacific. Of nee, Cathay Cargo. En dat ding dat ziet er helemaal uit zoals ze er vroeger uitzagen.
Net te laat.
Jammer.
Hij heeft er vast wel op beeld.
Hij is op beeld geweest en ik maak er ook een aparte video van, dus die komt later vandaag. Dus dan kun je hem sowieso nog zien. Maar misschien, ik weet niet of jullie nog richting het platform gaan. Daar is hij misschien wel te zien vanaf de McDonald's. Als die een beetje aan de oostkant staat, dan kun je misschien vanaf het panoramaterras bij de McDonald's, kun je misschien nog net een glimp ervan zien. Ze staan allemaal aan de zuidkant bij de Kaagbaan en vanaf de McDonald's kun je daar net een beetje opkijken. Tenzij die heel erg in het westen staat, aan het einde van de landingsbaan. Want dan staan de gebouwen van Schiphol ervoor. Hey, dankjewel. Ja, dit is hoe het er dan achter de schermen uitziet. Visitors from the east of the... No, not from the east, from the northeast of the country, Drenthe. That's one of the northeasterly most provinces of the Netherlands. So, how long was the drive over here? 1.5 hours of driving, which for people living in the United States is a laugh. That's what you do if you forgot groceries. Oh, let's go to the supermarket, drive 3 hours up back and forth. Here in the Netherlands, 1.5 hour of driving is pretty far, but we are a very small country. So for us things. Wat zei je? Oh, wow! They also do RC flying. That's nice. With big heavy airplanes or. 160? Wow. 1 meter 60. That's 6 to 7 feet wingspan. No small stuff. Marja has to sign off. She has had a busy day. Thank you so much for joining, Marja. Happy that you were able to stick around to see the 7478. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, fijne dag jongens. Tot later. Thank you, Marja, for joining, and sleep well. Hopefully see you again tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then hopefully on Sunday. Hey, Wolfgang also back in the chat. Great shots of the 747. Yeah, I will make a separate video out of it as well, but it was lovely. Absolutely everything I had hoped for. Glad you were able to see it as well, Wolfgang. What a machine, eh? Hey, Glenn, good day. So, for those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. And earlier in the morning, an hour ago approximately, we saw the premiere of, at least the channel premiere of the 7478 Cathay Cargo 80 years retro livery. What a machine that was. Absolutely lovely. Hope you guys are still enjoying the show. If you are and you haven't done so already, don't forget to leave a like. It will greatly help to bring in the new audience that we so much need. It is now waiting for the A380. It's expected in 35 minutes from now. Not yet in Dutch airspace. What is next is an airplane that we have seen before, or at least the carrier we've seen before, and I think looking at the livery, I'm not sure if we've seen this version of it before already. Arkia, another Israeli carrier next to El Al. We've seen it before, but at least from what I recall, the times that we did see Arkia before, the airplane's liveries looked different. Now I'm also seeing, to my surprise, that there are tractors all of a sudden coming this way. The tractor driver is probably thinking,
Move, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
that's a hose, isn't it? Yep. Hose and pump. More so. Oh, are they going to fertilize the soil maybe? Arkia. To me it looks like it is a half-finished paint job where half of it looks like KLM Malta. Hey Arjan, goedemorgen. Good to see you in our live chat as well, buddy. Hope you've been well. That was Arkia arriving from Tel Aviv, but I think it is a hybrid livery. Half Arkia, half KLM Malta. There's a 777 freighter from Air China Cargo arriving. It's flying base, arriving from Chengdu. Looking to follow the 777 from KLM arriving from Rio de Janeiro, which will follow on the two narrow bodies that we're seeing here. So first up, KLM flight 964 arriving from Teesside or Darlington. An Embraer 175, followed by Hans' favorite Vueling flight 8309, which is returning to Amsterdam from Barcelona. Let's have a look in the cockpit. Hello there, first officer. Yo, 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 FO. And as I'm saying those words, I feel a few droplets once again. Yeah, question is, will it stay dry? And if so, for how much longer? Are these just isolated droplets? This is what the sky looking in the direction the wind is blowing from, at least here on ground level, is looking like. Bit dark. Then again, also more openness, so it's not very densely packed. But it has once again started to drizzle ever so slightly. Hey there, Gary Noller, tuning in from Norwalk, California in the United States. A warm welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Great many are watching. Together they know a lot. All right, next up, Vueling, Hans' favorite. That one dot is still in place by the looks of it. Good. Yeah, it's starting to drizzle again. Time to get out the umbrella once more. Let's see if we can place that in the front pocket of my parka. Let it rest against my chest. That should keep things mostly dry. Next airplane to arrive over here is KLM Flight 706, arriving from Rio de Janeiro. KLM Asia 777-200, once again flying to and from Latin America. Yesterday as well. Not sure why they do that. But it's often a KLM Asia 777 that we see returning from Latin America lately. 10 hours and 32 minutes of flight time. The Papa Hotel, Bravo Quebec, Kilo. 21-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in January 2005. And behind it will be an Embraer 175 from KLM. That is sandwiched in between the triples. The triple from Air China Cargo will be behind that. So that's now number 3 to arrive. Arriving from Chengdu in China. First up, KLM. Don't expect any reversers to be deployed, except the idle reverse. I hoped maybe by saying this out loud they were going to prove me wrong and we were going to hear reversers being deployed, but unfortunately they followed what I already predicted. Idle reverse landing in typical KLM fashion. I am expecting more from the Chinese triple that is now number 2 to land. Being preceded by KLM Flight 1710, and that's an Embraer 175 arriving from Luxembourg. We can see that over there. Question is, can we see that Chinese triple already or not? Looking on my camera screen, I find it hard to see. Not sure if you guys are able to see it. I, for one, am not. Right, now in the middle of the screen it has become apparent. The 777 from Air China Cargo arriving from Chengdu. There's another 777 flying off the coast on a downwind leg to the Polderbaan. KLM Flight 792 arriving from Sao Paulo. And a bit further to the north of that, KLM Flight 622, which is returning from Atlanta, Georgia. That's a 787-10. That is going to land here. So, up first, KLM Flight 1710, Embraer 175, returning from Luxembourg, which usually is around 45 minutes of flight. Current flight time 43 minutes, in other words, nominal. 9-year-old airplane. The first flight was in January 2017. Wow, it's 2017, 9 years ago already. Perception of the passage of time can be so different. I think most of the droplets have once again stopped. Sometimes time seems to take an eternity, and sometimes it's going so incredibly fast. All right, next up is Air China Cargo, flight 1001, or at least that's what the call sign says. 777 freighter, 10 hours and 12 minutes on the way from Chengdu in China. It's the Bravo 222 Sierra. 3-year-old airplane, first flight February 2023. I'm expecting more sound from this landing than from the KLM triple that landed before. Hey, thank you for the kind words. Here for the green, loving the videos. Got it up on the projector while gaming on the main screen. Absolutely great. Sounds like a terrific combination, mate. Thank you for the kind words and enjoy. Thank you. Exactly what I was hoping for. Flap surface inspection. Outer flap, yuck. Inner flap, eh. Also not the cleanest. Left hand side, basically the same. Yeah. Basically the same. Long distance butt shot, off axis butt shot. But there you go. I'll drink to that. Some good old AMS vodka. EasyJet up next, arriving from Belfast in Northern Ireland. Next after that is going to be another KLM 777 from Sao Paulo. I'm expecting an idle reverse landing. Wolfgang is indicating that there is a Kuwait Airways A380 Neo underway and expected in 5 minutes. Inner flaps, outer flaps, apple flaps. Right, and now we see that the military police has also arrived on the scene over here on patrol. I was waving to them, but they did not reciprocate. KLM Flight 792 is up next. Arrival from Sao Paulo, that's a 777-300. Behind it is a KLM 787-10, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. The 777's flight from Sao Paulo back to Amsterdam thus far has lasted 10 hours and 49 minutes. It's the Papa Hotel Bravo Victor Foxtrot, BVF. That's a 15-year-old airplane. Coming in from Sao Paulo, which of course is in Brazil, and that's on a continent called Latin America, where you can also find a country called Ecuador! Not to be confused with the continent called Africa. If you think that Sao Paulo is in Africa, then you are
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Hey there, David Wolf. Good to see ya. Adriana, good to see ya. Welcome back, guys. Hadi Lauwe, goedemiddag. Delong Bickus says that Emirates 84 November is almost there. Is that...
Ben je Adam?
Nee.
Oh, je hebt die andere.
Ik denk het, ik weet het niet.
Nee, ik zie dat altijd wel eens op YouTube, die streaming.
We zijn heel makkelijk uit elkaar te houden.
Ja, heel makkelijk. Wel makkelijk.
We zijn heel makkelijk uit elkaar te houden. Dus als u denkt dat ik Adam ben, dan denk ik dat dan kunt u beter doorlopen.
Maar dan zijn er meerdere.
Er zijn meerdere, ja.
Oké.
Zeker.
Dan Dan heb ik ook waarschijnlijk wel eens naar jou gekeken.
Het zou zomaar kunnen. Fijne dag. For fuck's sake. Anyway, KLM flight 622 is arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. 787-10 Dreamliner.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
7 hours and 14 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel Bravo Kilo Foxtrot, 6 years old, first flight December 2019. And the Kuwait A330 is now number 3 to arrive, including this airplane. A jet in the middle, A321neo arriving from Istanbul. Well, if you want to make me livid, Paul, definitely compare me with somebody who annoys women, who is threatening with violence, who is copying other people everywhere. If you want to make me livid, then absolutely compare me with him. Let's see, a jet up next, arriving from Istanbul, Turkey, A321neo. Flight time 3 hours and 5 minutes. The airplane 3 years old, first flight October 2022. And after that, Kuwait Airways, flight 127, arriving from Kuwait City, A330neo. Peter asks if it is raining over here, and it has rained here temporarily. Now, once again, I feel a few droplets. It's not continuous and it's not very hard, but on occasion there are a few droplets falling. Right now it is beginning again. Next up, Kuwait Airways, flight 127, arriving from Kuwait City. That's an A330neo, 5 hours and 41 minutes on the way. The 9 kilo Alpha Papa Mike, brand new, first flight September 2025. Let's see. Any more wide bodies in the immediate vicinity? Doesn't seem to be the case. Looks like after this, the next wide body landing here is going to be Emirates flight 147 or... Nope, from the southwest, nothing from the Gulf of Yorkshire. We're also not we also don't have to expect any wide bodies. It's narrow bodies o'clock right after this. Daniel says we should make an apron sign that this is AMS Live. That should not be necessary. If you are unable to discern the difference between two channels, then you definitely have something wrong with your senses. Anybody with a set of eyes and ears should be able to tell the difference quite easily, so a sign should not be necessary, in my humble opinion. And Peter never saw this before, really. I'm pretty sure that we've filmed Kuwait Airways before, and particularly the 900. I think it's the 800 that is more of a rarity, but that too we have seen before on occasion already. EasyJet up next, flight 22515, arrived from London Luton. And speaking of getting the cramps, if you are Luton intolerant, better look away. This airplane might entice some cramps. This is not Jesus with an S, but this is Jesus bro with a Z. Jesus is returning from London Luton, bringing divine cramps to the Luton intolerant. Jesus Christ, what a beautiful machine. Alright, up next, EasyJet arriving from Geneva. That's an A320. 1 hour and 11 minutes ago it left the OEICB, Austrian registered, 10-year-old airplane, first flight May 2015. Alright, yeah, it's all narrow bodies. I can zoom out on flight radar again to double check if there's not a wide body creeping in, but we'll have to wait until the Emirates A380 has landed before, or until the A380 becomes visible, I should say, before getting our next wide body fix. Drop asks, how's bird life today? Ever seen ooievaars there? That's a good question. I don't think I've seen ooievaars here. White herons we have seen before. Yesterday, walking back on the cycling path, there was a lizard. First time I ever saw that. It was right in the middle of the cycling path, so I stopped and picked it up and put it in the grass on the side of the land, the farmland, so that it wouldn't get trampled. Other than Donald and Daisy and the coots, we haven't seen other birds here. Well, and the crows. Don't think I've seen herons here today, nor any seagulls. If I'm not mistaken, I have seen Fidel Castro here, although looking around I'm not seeing him right now. We do have a 2-airplane glide slope shot here right now. That's because the landing lights are on. Visibility is somewhat decent still. The second airplane arriving is an A321neo from TAP Air Portugal, flight 668, arriving from Lisbon, and here in the foreground we have an Embraer 190 arriving from Cardiff, flight 1088. E2 Embraer 195 will be third to arrive. KLM flight 1754 arriving from Hamburg. Eye patch. They don't want us to look inside. I wonder what they're hiding. Hey, John is also back in the chat. Late today, mate. You missed the special livery of the day, maybe of the month, maybe even of the year. I'm not sure if we're going to get this trumped. The Cathay 7478 that I alluded to in the stream title landed here approximately 5 minutes to 11. I will make a separate video out of that, so make sure to keep an eye out for that if you missed it and you don't want to rewind. Obviously, you can also rewind to approximately 5 to 11. I'm going to make a separate video out of it. It was everything we'd hoped for, or at least I'd hoped for. It landed here, it was still dry, it got loud. And simply put, a spectacular livery. Makes me feel sorry that we aren't going to see the special livery on the A350 over here. Cathay send A350s to Schiphol quite regularly, if not daily. And it's always the A350-1000, and Cathay only outfitted the special livery on one of their 900s. It's a bit of a trickle once again. Slight drizzle. Well, not really. Yeah, it's just light rain actually. It's not so much drizzle. The droplets are a bit bigger. Just a very, very, very slow tempo in which they are falling. I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, you can see the droplets a bit over there. Chris Coot is over there doing morning cardio. Rain doesn't deter him. He's a real trooper. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke currently looking like so. Next up will be 2 consecutive E2 Embraer 195s from KLM. The first one arriving from Hamburg, the second one arriving from Bergen. Flight 1754 and 1164 respectively, and after that another KLM, 2 more KLMs in fact. Another 737 and then yet another E2 Embraer. Also well on my end, John. Hope that also goes for you. E2 with a carrying cabin. Not all E2s from KLM come equipped with a carrying cabin. Similar to how not all 737s have them or don't have them. Some do, some don't. What the camera lens also has is droplets on them. Very minute, but they look big when you zoom out. Quick fix. Just wipe it clean. Phone screen is still decently in shape. Small droplets that aren't going to coagulate and start rolling yet, so we'll leave it for what it is. So let's have a look. The Emirates A380 is flying over Markermeer, the body of water between the central province of Flevoland and the province it's flying to, North Holland. That also Schiphol falls under. The municipality that Schiphol is situated in, Haarlemmermeer, the biggest municipality I think of the Netherlands, right? Used to be a lake. And if you drive through it, only then do you realize how big that lake must have been before they dredged it and made it into land. Stretching all the way from north of Schiphol to the Kaag, name giver of the Kaagbaan. Around it is a circular canal called Ringvaart. If you look on Google Maps, you will be able to see it. And everything within that circular canal, that's the municipality, and that used to be a lake. Haarlemmermeer, Lake of Haarlem. The Haarlem Lake is what it translates to. Alright, the Emirates A380 is approaching mainland North Holland. I also hear what sounds like a bizjet passing overhead. It's above the clouds. I'm looking up. You can hear it probably, but you cannot see it BizJet flying towards the city of Amsterdam, only to turn final there and head towards runway 22, the Schiphol Oostbaan, to land there. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 airplanes preceding the Emirates A380. The Emirates A380 is still flying towards Alkmaar. 3 airplanes are already lined up on the glide slope. A 4th is approaching from the west, Transavia from Valencia. That's going to be the 4th arrival here on the Polderbaan. E2 Embraer arriving from Düsseldorf, JD's hometown. Behind it will be a Transavia A321neo arriving from Porto in Portugal. In the meantime, Klaas just now went ahead gifting 5 memberships. Mate, you really did not have to do that. Thank you so much for your generosity. That means 5 new members courtesy of Klaas Reinders. If you are one of the 5 recipients, don't forget to say thank you to Klaas and enjoy your access to the custom emojis. You have all 34 at your disposal without a limit, but for the duration of a month. But using them, you are allowed to do whenever you see fit, so make sure to get creative with them, have fun with them. But do use them, they're there for a reason. Not just to look at, but to use as well. Next up, Transavia with an A321neo arriving from Porto in Portugal, flight 6008. So once again, a big thank you to Klaas for the 5 gifted memberships and a warm welcome to those 5 new members. The BizJet that we heard but didn't see pass overhead a couple of minutes ago is now turning base northeast of Amsterdam. It was a NetJets Europe Bombardier Challenger 350 returning to Amsterdam from Valencia. Alright, Transavia arriving from Porto in Portugal, 2 hours and 9 minutes in the way. That doesn't seem like a long time, considering that flights arriving from Madrid and Barcelona also sometimes are almost 2 hours, if not 2 hours precisely, in the case of the latter. So 2 hours and 9 minutes seems like a short flight from Porto back to the Netherlands. Not sure if that is completely correct. If it is, that's a fast flight. Two hours and you're in Portugal already. And if you consider that the Canary Islands, which at least to me intuitively feel like they're not too much further to the southwest of the Iberian Peninsula, is still 2 more hours of flying further. Probably says more about my wrong gut feeling about global distances than than anything else. But there you go. Now, looking up to the north, you can see it's not that clouded, and also looking to the west, it's not that clouded. Southwest also looks. I mean, it's not going to. The sun isn't going to shine anytime soon, but it's not looking like it's going to rain really hard really soon. Just a few droplets every now and then. Means that with the arrival of the A380 minutes from now, the question is, are we going to continue and stay on and also watch the Orange Pride land? I think the answer to that should be yes, considering that it's still decent weather. and it's going to land here on the Polderbaan as well, if all is well. It's returning from Lima, arriving from the west. So ordinarily that should mean a Polderbaan arrival. Manuel says, why is everyone talking about an Airbus? It is a plane ride, not a bus. You're absolutely right, mate. Why did Airbus call their company Airbus? There should be planes. Yeah, no, looking all around, when zooming out, looking to the south, you can see, I mean, yeah, it's overcast. There are clouds at higher level, there are clouds at lower level. But it's definitely not the worst we've ever witnessed here. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the plan now will become to stick around until the Orange Pride will have landed. It should be arriving here, when was it again? 1:20 or so? If you look closely, you will see that the Transavia font is bolder than before. This is the updated livery. So this is a very new airplane. The tail is all green. The letters are a bit more thick, bold. Let's quickly turn around. Emirates A380 up next. Flight 147, arriving from Dubai, the daily flight. 6 hours and 39 minutes underway. Nominal duration, 6 hours and 30 minutes is what it usually averages. So 10 minutes more or less on 6.5. That's peanuts. That's just noise and not signal. 13-year-old airplane. A6 Echo Echo India. First flight January 2013. And the Orange Pride is expected to land here around 1:18. Thank you, Flores, for looking that up. Hey, Jens K is also back, tuning in from sunny Vecta. Welcome back, mate. Hope you've been well. And a lot special livery is following the A380, Wolfgang says. It's not that special, it's more a sticker than anything. They say it's a special livery, but I've seen airplanes that say that Flight Radar says has a sticker that is bigger than what you see on that lot. But it is a lot to see. First up, the A380. How loud will it get? I have to say, I had hoped it was going to be louder. Bit disappointing. Still, indeed, what a machine. The Flying Air Scraper, that's a nice nickname, Rob. Yeah, it's an apartment building with showers and all, with wings. The fact that this just flew from Dubai to the Netherlands at an altitude really high up, an incredible speed, landing here hours later unscathed. Is a miracle. It's moments like this that I think, what if the Wright brothers would have been alive to witness this for the first time? What would they think? Indeed, I think that's a very apt description there, Jeff. Mid, very mid. The beast from the east has arrived. And our next target is going to be the Orange Pride, which is expected 1:18, arriving from Lima in Peru. In other words, coming in from the west, even though at 1:18 Parallel arrivals are once again going to be in progress. Means that the Orange Pride is going to land here. Unless, of course, something unforeseen is going to happen. At Schiphol there's always a lot to see, and this is lot flight 263. Visit North Moravia. If I'm not mistaken, that's in the northeast of the country. Next to Warmia-Mazuri or something. I'm probably totally mispronouncing it, and I apologize to the Polish people watching. Those are very foresty, lake-rich, beautiful nature-rich environments. From what I have seen on TV. I haven't visited myself, but I have seen pictures of that part of Poland. Gorgeous. Combo shot with the Emirates A380. Familie Volkering says, just elegant, the A380. That's an interesting choice of words. I wouldn't choose the word elegant myself that easily. Not for the A380. I think the 747 looks elegant. I think the A380 looks, for lack of a better word, a bit chubby. It's short, it's wide, it's heavy. Elegant is not the word that would come to my mind. I would say that the sleek curves of the 747 are elegant. If you had to use one word for describing the Emirates A380, what would you choose? What would your choice of word be? In the meantime, Emirates is taxiing back to Schiphol, having landed between Haarlem and the Polderbaan, according to Flight Radar. We've seen that before. Flight Radar, the positioning of the A380 and Flight Radar being generously off. OELQT. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for letting us know. If one was discussing current events, one might be interested to know that the Crown Prince of the UAE might be implicated in providing videos to a most unsavory destination. At least now one will know. Thank you for the information. Let's see. It's a whale, Annette says. But an elegant whale, right? Baby bus is elegant, Daniel says. Rob Drop says, elegant, just fat. Elegant must be a typo. Elephant, Hans says. Oh God, what have I elicited? Jens says A380 Chubby Checker. That's also a nice nickname, Chubby Checker. Anyway, next up, Shamrock Aer Lingus, flight 604, arriving from Dublin. A320. While it is approaching, let's have a quick look at Flight Radar. We can see the Emirates A380 here on the ground, and we can see that the Orange Pride is over England, over the southwest, just below Wales. Expected 118. Quick look at the meter, which is updating automatically in the ticker. But here you can see the visualization for those who are more visually inclined. We have a ceiling at 2,400 feet. 3 layers of clouds, few clouds at 1500 feet, scattered clouds at 16, broken clouds at 2400 feet. The air temperature is 12 degrees with light rain, that's the minus RA. 14 knots of wind, same as yesterday, although you don't hear the wind as much as yesterday because of the blimp. Visibility below the ceiling is 10 kilometers or more. The air pressure is 1013 hectopascals. And the Dutch Met Office is currently showing this as loop for the last hour. We are standing approximately over here. So the rain all in all is not too severe, nor is it looking like it's going to get very severe before the arrival of the Orange Pride. So that's expected in 40 minutes from now. This is Aer Lingus, flight 604, 1 hour and 10 minutes underway. The Eidel, E-I-D-E-L, 20 years old already, first flight March 2005. Hey, and Evan is also back in the chat, good to see you. And Wouter has also returned, good to see you, mate. Margie says that she would describe the A380 as stately. And Jeff says, the A380 reminds me of a blobfish. In the meantime, Stefan has also returned to the chat and he is celebrating 20 months of membership. 20 months and counting. Boy, it's been a while. Hi. 20 months and counting. It's been a while. It's good to have you back, mate. 20 months and counting. That's almost 2 years. 4 more months before your green badge will turn to blue. Hope you were in time, Stefan, to see the 7478 this morning. Maybe you were able to see it. Maybe you were able to see it in rewind. If not, I will make a separate video out of that later in the day. Thank you so much, Stefan, for the ongoing support. 20 months and counting. I hope that those 20 months in the lounge have been to your liking. If you have suggestions for improvements, let me know. And I'll see what I can do to make things better. This is Transavia, and here you can see the difference. The font is not as thick as that other airplane's font. Also, the logos on both the engine casings and the tail, only partial green, mostly white, and that changed with the new update. The tail and the engine casings are green. It's subtle differences, just like a deeper smile with KLM, but once you know what to look for, you do recognize it immediately. Next up is a BA City Flyer Embraer 190 arriving from London City. 43 minutes underway, flight 8489. There's always I like that the City Flyer Embraers always have LCY, London City Airport abbreviation, in the registration. This is the Golf Lima Charlie Yankee Victor, the GLCY-V. 17 years old already, first flight somewhere in 2009, the month not being mentioned. And Stefan replies that unfortunately due to work he had to miss the arrival of the 7478. It happened, I think, 5 minutes to 11 local time. If you want to rewind the stream, that's a way of seeing it. Like I said, I will make a separate video out of it later today. And there it goes again. The hand on the edge of the control panel. Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. Yeah, arriving from London City.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Merry
Zeker.
Poppins, London.
Die informatie krijg je allemaal over die vliegtuigen. Hij dat allemaal op de...
Staat allemaal hier op mijn telefoon.
Zit allemaal op je telefoon.
Zit allemaal op mijn telefoon.
Een programma of zo.
Flight Radar.
Flight Radar. Oh,
Ja, Flight Radar. De website heeft ook een app. Ik heb de app hier open. Ik heb hier mijn live chat open. Splitscreen.
Ja.
En
Doe je dit iedere dag zo?
ik doe dit niet elke dag. Ik doe het donderdag tot en met zondag. Als het weer er toelaat. Ja.
Weet jij waar de starts nu zijn? Aalsmeerbaan?
Aalsmeerbaan is de secundaire landing of de startbaan. Maar de Kaagbaan die wordt primair gebruikt. Dus
Daar kun je niet meer bij komen.
daar kun je nog wel bij komen. Maar je moet geluk hebben dat je je auto kwijt kan.
Maar die spottersplek is daar niet meer.
Nee, de oude spottersplek van vroeger die is er niet meer. Maar je kan wel aan het...
Hoe kun je daar komen? Gewoon via die weg, die Rozenburg. Heb je Rozenburg?
Bent u met de auto?
Ja.
Dan zou je moeten kijken. Heeft u Google Maps op uw telefoon of wat dan ook erbij? Ah. Ja, wat je moet doen is naar Google Maps.
Ja.
Beach Avenue, zo heet die weg die er langs rijdt. Die moet je opzoeken.
Ja.
En je hebt bij de kruisweg daar heb je een parallelle weg. Daar staan wat bedrijven. Je hebt daar parallel tussen het fietspad en de weg heb je een soort ruimte. Daar kun je parkeren, zodat je niet voor een ingang of uitgang staat. Dat is het dichtstbijzijnd. En anders dan zou je, maar dan moeten we even kijken op de kaart waar je precies moet zijn. Iets verderop heb je ook nog de Alsmeerderweg, dacht ik dat dat heet. Dat is een weg die de Beach Avenue kruist. Daar heb je vaak ook parkeerplek. Maar door de weekse dagen is lastig.
Het beginsel Beach Avenue.
Beach Avenue. Want die gaat met een bocht, met een S-bocht, gaat die langs een grasveld. Dat is dus aan de zuidkant van de Kaagbaan. En daar kun je gewoon langs de weg naartoe lopen. Daar sta ik ook vaak te streamen. En daar staan ook, als je er langs rijdt, zul je er misschien ook spotters zien staan.
Dat is natuurlijk ook mooi, hè? En de Zwanenburg, dat is ook een secondary gewoon.
Ja, Zwanenburg die is nu open. Secundair, die is, ja, ik zie dat er nu een vliegtuig naartoe gaat. Die is nu een uur open.
Maar er is niet veel activiteit.
Tussen 1 en 2.
Tussen 1 en 2.
En dan daarna is het weer primair de Polderbaan. Het is of 2 banen open voor inbound en 1 voor outbound. Dus op dit moment, omdat nu ook de center open gaat, is alleen de Kaagbaan open voor outbound.
Ja.
En straks als deze weer dicht gaat, de Zwanenburg, dan gaat de Aalsmeerbaan open. En die is dan samen met de Kaagbaan uurtje, 1,5 uurtje.
Maar die Kaagbaan is nu open en die blijft ook nog.
Kaagbaan is de primaire baan. Die wordt daar is de hele tijd zijn er de hele tijd starts.
Naar de Beach Avenue.
Beach Avenue, ja. B-E-E-C-H, zoals de fabrikant van de vliegtuigen.
Dankjewel meneer.
Hey, graag gedaan.
Ik wens je een fijne dag.
Dank u wel, u ook.
En heel veel succes.
Dank u wel, u ook.
Er wordt ook betaald.
Er wordt betaald, maar dus nog niet genoeg om het de hele dag te doen. Dus als u nog mensen kent die...
Maar wat is jouw, hoe heet jij op YouTube?
AMS Live, het staat op mijn pet. AMS Live.
Ik heb jou gekeken. Ik zal eens erop gaan en misschien wat storten zo.
Nou, dat hoeft niet, maar als u in ieder geval bij de Beach Avenue gaat spotten, heel veel plezier.
Dankjewel.
Is goed, graag gedaan. Fijne dag. Right. An older gentleman over here who was asking some questions about runway use and also how he could get to the Kaagbaan. He was interested in filming or at least spotting some departures. So I gave him some information about the runway use and also the primary and secondary runway use, of course in Dutch. So you guys probably weren't able to follow. In the meantime, I see that the airplanes to the Polderbaan have stopped coming in. It is almost 1 o'clock, so I'm thinking there might be a runway inspection happening soon. I do see some lights over there, but that's not on the runway, I think. No, that's the excavator, the digger. Mr. F is also back in the chat. Good to see you. Jennifer, goeiedag. Ja, good info. Yeah. Oh, the man, that older gentleman is even now running. You'd almost think he has a certain flight to catch. No runway inspection in progress just yet, but we'll see. In the meantime, traffic to the center runway. KLM flight 1830 over there, arriving from Stuttgart, an Embraer 190. Wolfgang is indicating that the Team Turkey A330 is about to turn final to the center runway. Qatar Airways with the 777-300 behind it, arriving from Doha. I'm wondering what's the runway assignment of KLM flight 914 arriving from Aberdeen. That's looking like the first airplane now approaching from the west. Ah, I've got my answer. Might be directed to the center runway, unless bird control is really quick with their runway inspection. For those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the Polderbaan where the A380 already landed. And earlier in the morning, the Boeing 7478 from Cathay Cargo with the special retro livery, 80 years. An absolute looker. Landed here on the Polderbaan shortly before 11. I'll make a separate video out of it once I get home later this afternoon. For now, we are still here awaiting the arrival of the Orange Pride, the PHBVA 777-300, returning from Lima in Peru. I'm not completely alone over here. There are a few others here as well, even further north of me. Somebody who has an umbrella out, even though, unless it's raining over there, it's not raining over here. A couple of young lads over there as well. And this is Qatar Airways, arriving from Doha, flight 273, 777-300. Hey there, Speed Pigs. Welcome back. Good to see ya. And welcome to everybody else. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. It will help to bring us back in the algorithm and bring in a new audience, which we need to grow. Now, once again, looking around, it is starting to look a bit dimmer in the direction the wind is blowing from. So I think I am going to call it quits after the no, not the A380. The Orange Pride will have landed. Here's the scale of chimney smoke. And in the meantime, let's see, where's the Orange Pride? The Orange Pride is in the vicinity of London and is making good speed over here to the Netherlands. Expected around 118. And we're waiting for traffic to resume to the Polderbaan. KLM flight 914. Arriving from Aberdeen seems to be turning in for the Polderbaan, so the runway inspection now in progress will end soon. That's almost always relatively short-lived, unless they do find stuff on the runway. Thus far, the car is just driving and monitoring and inspecting. It's the new Schiphol logo, AMS. Funny that they changed it to AMS Schiphol. A couple of years after AMS Live got underway. Right. I'm still curious. Maybe somebody watching the streams knows what's this. I mean, it looks like there is a camera on top. Or is that something else? It's quite clearly a mobile contraption. It's looking like the normal boxes that you see over here. It's right next to one. So I'm wondering, is this related? Is there a reason? Does anybody know? Hey there, Wietse. Good to see ya. Welcome to the show, everybody else. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to GF Photos for a thumbs up super sticker. Mate, you really didn't have to do a super sticker, but thank you so much for doing it. Thumbs up to you too. Hope you are enjoying the show. Hope everybody is. Turkish flight 1957 is approaching the center runway. That's a special livery if I recall correctly. Yep, Team Turkey. Livery, looking on flight radar on at the picture, it doesn't look that different from the standard livery, but it is a bit different. The red at the tail is a bit lengthened. Star and sickle. Looks good. Another reminder on my phone that from the weather app that in my hometown, pretty soon it might start to rain again temporarily. Mobile LiDAR is what Han is wondering. Oh, the camera spins also, Paul says. Is that so? Didn't know. Oh, hey. Yeah, now I'm noticing it as well. It was stationary before. Back and forth. Round and round. Up and down. So yeah. Imagine the X-Files theme song, which I'm not playing because of copyright claims that might happen otherwise. YouTube streamer detector. Could that be it, John? Surely that isn't necessary. Well, the mystery continues. If anybody knows more about what this is, why it's there, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't there. It wasn't always there. Only a couple of weeks ago did they put it there. At least a couple of weeks ago, I first noticed it. I'm pretty sure a year ago, when you look back at streams from Polderbaan, that contraption wasn't there yet. Anyway, this is Turkish flight 1957, an A330-200. Arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. 3 hours and a minute on the way. Nominal flight duration. 20-year-old airplane. Team Turkey livery. Let's have a look. What does it look like? Well, like the picture on flight radar, you can see that the red is elongated a bit to the front of the fuselage. And the star and sickle. Has the tulip gone? Did they remove the tulip in favor of the star and sickle? I think they have, unless it is on the other side, but on this side I'm not seeing the tulip that you normally would see somewhere over there. Right, well. Looks nice. A bit subdued for a special livery, but it does look nice, I have to say. I wouldn't object to this becoming the standard livery of Turkish Airlines from now on. Although, if I could choose, I would prefer the retro A330. If they could make that the standard livery. Hey, that might be the case, Nigel. That's not too far-fetched of a suggestion. A drone detector. John says visibility sensor would be my more serious guess. You mean a sensor for how foggy it is? How much meters the visibility is? That sounds logical. Candid camera. Who knows? I'm hearing the sound of what sounds like a military turboprop. Is that an A400 overhead? I'm not having overhead traffic enabled, but I can switch to no filters temporarily. Quickly have a look. There's a United States Air Force. Oh, it's a Hercules. Hercules. Right, time to re-enable the filters. So that I only have Schiphol traffic on my flight radar. The local shower is still continuing by the looks of it. The chap is probably on his phone and thinking, well, I could take the umbrella out again, put it back in its sleeve or something, or just leave it the way it is, because it is going to rain again at some point. Yeehaw asks, on which side of the runway was it, east or west? It's a good question. I think it's behind, so that should be east. Where did I see it? Where did I see it? Over there. Yeah, the tarmac that you see over here in the foreground, that's the runway, so it's behind it on the east side. Parallel arrivals in progress, and traffic to the Polderbaan is resuming, with a widebody to the Polderbaan as well, in the form of KLM flight 751. Another chance to use this in the proper context. Obviously, before that, we are going to see an A321neo. You probably already recognized it as such. Mind you, there are also a few A320s that fly around with the same cockpit look as the A321s here on this Transavia. So you always have to double check, but this is a proper A321neo from Transavia, returning from Faro, also in Portugal. 2 hours and 36 minutes on the way it has been. Faro and Porto are not that far apart from one another, are they? I'm still a bit amazed by the other flight. I think it was also Transavia that flew in from Porto with only 2 hours and 9 minutes of flight time. You might hear Russell over there being loud. I'm not sure why he is loud, but if you think I'm hearing a crow, this is the one you were hearing. There are two 777s flying parallel to one another, approaching Polderbaan and the Zwanenburgbaan, the center runway. Unfortunately, we are only going to see a quote-unquote regular KLM flying parallel to it is Qatar Cargo, arriving from Doha. I'm thinking that the Qatar is more likely to use its reversers than KLM. Then again, you never know. You never know. Sometimes the KLM widebody pilots do enable the reverse thrust. Not sure if it is required for them to test the functionality every now and then, since they are hardly ever using them. Okay, so the difference is substantial. Okay, thank you, Yeehaw. KLM flight 751 is approaching. It's a 777-200. And it's not even from KLM Asia this time around. Arriving from Guayaquil, and that's of course a city with a big port in the country called
Ecuador!
I said in a country called
Ecuador!
It's in a country called
Ecuador!
You're goddamn right. And if you think that Guayaquil is in
Africa!
then you are
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
right. That's the inner child in me playing with his toy, the sound effect toy. Apologies for that. Sorry, not sorry. 10 hours and 50 minutes underway now. KLM flight 751, 22-year-old airplane. First flight November 2003. 3. Parallel to it, Qatar Cargo, arriving from Doha. Standard livery. Idle reverse landing as expected, unfortunately for us. And this is Qatar Cargo, flight 8207. 6 hours 18 minutes underway. 6-year-old airplane, Alpha 7 Bravo Foxtrot Tango. It never grows old, indeed, Peter. Verveelt nooit. Sorry, that was Bas asking. Sorry, misread. You're absolutely right, Buzz. It never grows old. Max 9 from Corendon. Next for center after this 777. I was looking if it was maybe the special livery. The tattoo special livery, but it isn't. That's also a Max 9 737. It's been a long time since we last saw the tattoo Corendon Max 9. I think it must have been during one of the streams in autumn last year that I think I caught it on camera during a live. Hey Lars, good afternoon mate and welcome. Lars says, is the weather poor over there? It looks so dark. Yeah, well, it definitely is getting more dark here. It's definitely getting more dark. There's an area of rain coming. A part already passed earlier today. We began the stream with open skies, at least to the east and to the north. Right now, this is where we need to look to see what's coming our way. It's not completely dense, it's not as thick as it can get sometimes, but it's overcast and definitely no blue skies in the immediate vicinity. If it is a bit too dark, I can always amp up the exposure compensation for you guys. Another quarter stop would give you this. Also, I see that the color balance is a bit bluish. I can also increase the white balance and the color temperature a little. If you guys think that the footage is too dark or too bright, or if you think that the white balance is a bit off, do let me know, because those are things that I can change on the fly, as you guys could see just now. Don't take it for granted if you think that the color balance, the white balance, or the brightness should be changed. Let me know. Meanwhile, KLM arriving here with a Karen cabin-less 737. Flight 1502, returning from Madrid. And a big gap until the next, well, a sizable gap between this airplane and the next. Wolfgang says that there is an EasyJet holiday livery 5 minutes out. That's probably the next arrival here, isn't it? Oh wait, no. The A319 now on final isn't. It's the one from Chester then, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, what to make of that? That's a swimming pool, isn't it? Well, I have altered the white balance and the exposure compensation a little. If it looks fine now, then it didn't look fine before. So by all means, do let me know if you think a few tweaks are necessary. Things at home sometimes look a bit different from what I see on my camera LCD. To me, things look bright enough relatively quickly, but at home it sometimes might feel it's a bit dark. Ricardo is leaving again. Fijne dag nog. Thank you for joining, Ricardo, and see you again soon. Here you see another one of those new Transavias. The font a bit bolder, the engine casings green, and the tail as well. It's a subtle difference. It does look a bit better, doesn't it? Stefan flew with the tattoo livery of Corendon last November to and from Gambia. Nice. Not exactly a short flight, isn't it? How long did the flight last? 4 or 5 hours? Maybe 6? 5-ish probably, if I had to guess. Hey, Jill Bima also back in the chat. Good to see ya. And it seems that we have crossed through 600 likes. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are enjoying the show still, and you haven't done so already, and you want to help this channel reach a wider audience, leaving a like on your way out in a minute when we're wrapping up is the way to go. Familie Volkering says work is calling. See you all. Have a great day. Thank you so much for stopping by. You have a great day as well. The end of the stream, of today's stream, is nearing in the form of the Orange Pride. If you look on Flight Radar over the Gulf of Yorkshire to the west of the Netherlands, you can see it approaching. KLM Flight 744 arriving from Lima. That's the Orange Pride. That's going to be the last airplane for today. Lars says that there is a 747 taking off from the Kaagbaan. I'm not seeing it. There's a cheater on Cheater's Lane that is taking to the sky before the 747. What's that? That's Delta, isn't it? Yeah, that's a Delta A330. Hey Alessia, good to see ya. Hey, Han went looking for what that mobile machine is, and he says it is the Gamekeeper 16 uniform, and that's a mobile radar station for detecting and classifying drones. There you go. So the bit of kit that we see over here, that's drone detection. Interesting. Thanks for looking that up and sharing that information with us, Han. That is informative, and I didn't know that. Drone detection. What a world we live in that has become necessary. It's good that that machine is there then. Makes me wonder what the reach of that radar is. How far away can it detect drones, and how big of a drone can it detect? I mean, can it detect one of those sub 250 gram DJI drones that you can operate without any additional paperwork? Or makes me curious. Gamekeeper 16 uniform. Learn something new every day. Thank you, Han, for looking that up and sharing that information. Parallel arrivals still very much in progress. The Orange Pride is approaching the coastline. Next airplane to arrive over here is a KLM 737-800 arriving from Stavanger, KLM flight 1176. Parallel to it is number 190 arriving from Göteborg. And another KLM 737-800 behind this one on the glide slope to the Polderbaan. And parallel to that is also a 737-800. So it's 737 inbound rush hour right now. The KLMs are returning. So let's see. This one does not have a carrying cabin. Flight to Gambia took around 5 to 6 hours, as I thought. Just a rough estimate. Stretching the limits of what that Max 9 can probably fly, or... Well, you could probably also cross the Atlantic with it, can't you? Short stop on the way back at Cape Verde. So that made it an hour longer. That's still a relatively short stopover. Right, I scrolled a little and now my chat window is no longer going to the... I'm unable to get it to the bottom where the last messages are. There's always this problem with the live chat when enabling split window, and right, well, I've got that sorted. Boss says that's very specific, the drone type detection. Maybe you should not say that on stream. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? I've said it before, if you are a terrorist and you want to attack the Netherlands, the first Monday of the month, 12 o'clock is the right time to do so, because the air alarm will already sound and people are already used to it. So if you want to bomb us from the air, that would be the ideal moment to do so. All right, EasyJet up next, arriving from Persenchester, flight 22163, and that's the EasyJet Holidays livery. 49 minutes on the way. This is Gezoa, Gezoa. We already had Jesus with a Z at the end. Max reach of the Max 9 is 3,500 miles, Wolfgang says. That's quite a bit. I spy with my little eye. Mr. V1 Aviation, aka Bart. Long time no see, mate. Hoe is het? Mooi, man. Ja, ik mag niet klagen. Mag niet klagen. Blij dat ik eindelijk weer een keertje een beetje kan streamen. Nou ja, ik ben op vakantie geweest in januari en eerder deze maand. En daartussendoor is het best wel kak weer geweest. Dus dit is denk ik mijn 11e stream van het jaar.
Dat zijn er al meer dan ik de afgelopen 2 heb gedaan. Dus.
Dat is waar, dat is waar. Hoe is het, jongen? Tijd niet gezien. Ben je even weg geweest of hebben we elkaar gewoon misgelopen?
Ja.
Dan is dat het.
Best wel veel.
Ja.
En ik wilde eigenlijk ook dat clip in het achtergrond filmen. Dan zie je dat ik achteraf gewoon naar de kaart kunnen gaan.
Welke? Welke?
Cathay Retro.
Sorry?
Cathay Retro. Zeker.
Die Cathay Retro, ja.
Die gaat nu los.
Die gaat nu.
Ja.
Via?
Die zou 20 minuten geleden van Aalsmeer gaan.
Van Aalsmeer. En nu gaat hij naar Kaag of wat?
Ja, hij is nu uit. Hij gaat nu los vandaan.
Hij gaat nu van de Kaag, op dit moment. Dat is hem toch niet, of wel? What? The pipes are in the way. Ah, there it is, the retro. Yeah, we saw it this morning landing here.
Ja.
What a looker. I don't know, has it been to Schiphol before already?
Yeah, one time.
One time,
Actually,
yeah.
I had it on the first time.
You had it on the first time.
It was last week. So I thought it was coming in today, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go to one night left.
Yeah,
Go and try and get it. And when I actually went to the McDonald's to get a coffee,
yeah.
I looked and I switched it over to the 2-4. But since it was Frankfurt, I thought that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But in the end, it looked like it was pretty heavy. So
Gorgeous machine. First time I saw it, it's a looker. I'm really happy that they also painted one of their cargo 7.4s in that livery, because otherwise we would never have seen it. It's just a 1000, of course, but
yeah, but actually, I think the 900 was out today.
was it?
Yeah, I think it was. I can check it.
That's a first. They always send 1000 normally speaking, the A350.
They have been sending out a couple of them.
Oh. Bart, I'm not sure if you guys are hearing, but Bart is saying that Cathay Pacific also has been sending out 900 passenger 900 A350s to Schiphol on occasion.
It's literally been the 900 today as well.
It's been a 900 today as well. Hey, whoa.
So it is possible.
And how many 900s do they have in their fleet? Because if I recall correctly, they only have 14 747-8s. I think they have a great deal more, right?
They do.
So on paper, there might be a chance that one day we are able to catch the retro passenger 900 here as well.
There might even be a chance that we're gonna get them back to back because the 748's
Yeah.
scheduled flight is
Yeah.
basically 10 minutes behind.
That's right. I've been at Alsmeerman before a couple of times when they took off almost back to back. Yeah. Whoa. So. Yeah. On paper there's also a chance of being able to win the lottery, but when does that ever happen? So, but yeah. But people can dream, right? Nice seeing you again, mate. Enjoy. Hopefully see you again soon. Ciao, ciao. Well, there you go. The Cathay Pacific passenger A350 that arrived today was a 900. So actually, it is possible that Bart is already while walking up. I think he's going to want to catch the orange pride. Yeah. he's already setting up the tripod legs so that he can. Oh, I apologize, Bart, if you're watching. I probably kept you talking too long. You were probably planning on filming the orange pride. I hope he is still in time. The orange pride has become visible already. It is still a bit further away. He's already getting the tripod ready while still walking further north. As he was already mentioning, apparently Cathay does not send A350-1000s exclusively to Schiphol, but also 900s on occasion. Today's A350 was a 900 actually, so theoretically that makes it possible for the retro A350-900 also to visit Schiphol at some point. How nice. Right. Right, ladies and gentlemen, for me, this is going to be the last airplane of today's show. The KLM Orange Pride, the BVA 777-300, arriving from Lima in Peru, which is right next to Ecuador! And that's in Latin America, not in Africa. Flight time has been 11 hours and 22 minutes. 18-year-old airplane, first flight January 2008. It's just as old as Chucky. Now I'm hoping that tomorrow the weather will be good enough for me to be able to go out. When I checked this morning and looked at the 24-hour, it was looking like showers in the morning. I hope that will change still and we'll get a bit more optimistic. And that was Orange Pride, an airplane that I did not expect to be able to see here today, based on what the weather this morning was looking like for the streaming hours. But there you go, such is life, and I hope that something similar will happen tomorrow as well. Hopefully I'll be able to go out. If that will happen, I hope to see you then. For now, it is time for me to say goodbye. I had great fun being here, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream as well. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to help this channel grow and reach a wider audience. For now, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you all so much for joining. A massive big thanks for all the support, for all the gifted memberships once again today. For the people who renewed their membership or become a member for the first time, thank you for all the other forms of support, the super chats, the super stickers, PayPal donations, and of course merch shop purchases. Have a look in the merch shop if you haven't already. A lot of items there. A big thanks to all the moderators for keeping the live chat friendly and accessible once again. Head over to the community section if you haven't checked that out as well. If you have been a subscriber for a week or longer, you are eligible to post stuff over there, and a lot of people have already done so. It's a nice way for you to interact. If you have anything interesting that you want to share with us, that's your forum. The Orange Pride is taxiing out of here, and so too will I. Thank you so much for joining once again. Stay safe, stay warm, stay healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one. For now, take care and peace out.